We're live, boys.
Oh,
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, huh? Another Tuesday, 8
That's-
p.m. We
yeah.
are so hot.
Yep, I'm getting it now.
I think it might just be the
All right.
thing.
It's possible.
How's
It could
it
be
going?
us too. I
Keith,
mean,
you
we're pretty
weren't-
hot.
You weren't here.
No, I wasn't here last
I
week.
feel
I
like
was
we're
busy off doing work stuff.
We're playing the swap game. Last week you weren't here, so we
Got Miles.
had Miles swapping in, and now Sarah's not here, or if she is, she's undergone a lot of changes. And we
Yeah,
got
we
Tina
got,
sitting
we've
here.
got a lot to talk about.
Let's move on to the actual topics at hand here.
I feel like that is a topic. I mean, like that. If anything, there's I don't know. It's
There we go. Sorry, got to fix some levels here. There we go. Yeah, it's been a little while, so I had to get some. Man, I'm still.
We're all so hot. This is the
All
part of
right.
the show where we all look at our phones and
And check, make sure everything's going
check
well.
the levels.
Yes.
I swear we do pre-production. A lot
We
of
do.
people are
We
like,
actually we spent the past 45 minutes
Doo-doo.
doing some pre-production. Do. This is the kind of show it's going to be tonight.
to be fair, I am going to share the show out.
Oh, look at you. Go ahead and do that. Dean, have you
Share.
shared the show out? Shh. You could just turn the volume down on your phone, too.
I would like to shush it.
Okay. So, and for those listening, the music you guys are hearing in the background, I think we've mentioned this before, but it always never hurts to mention again. Fingers. Yep, out of Richmond, with a 1 for the I and a 3 for the E. He's doing the music back there. It's a little Maniac Mansion remix.
A little remix for us. A little Maniac
That's-
Mansion remix.
He let us use that music because we thought it was awesome and we wanted it on the show.
How's everybody doing? Not just you guys. How are you guys
How are
doing?
you?
I had to find the
The camera.
The camera.
It's
Total
that
pro.
thing right over there. Yeah.
There's no red light.
There's a
How
blue
are
light.
you- How are you guys doing? That's what we really want to know.
Uh,
So, what everybody doing pop culture this week? Anybody doing any pop culture-y stuff?
I got caught up on all sorts of stuff. I watched Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2 in this entire weekend.
I haven't finished season 2. I watched the first half of it, I think.
Did you like Evil Dead 2? Did either one of you like Evil Dead 2?
Yeah, and
Dude,
I love
who,
Ash
Who
versus Evil
doesn't
Dead.
like Evil Dead 2?
People who don't like scary movies.
It's not scary.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's scary.
well,
it's
it's-
slapstick.
But I had second one, yes. Although I did win a victory the other day. Sarah doesn't want to watch Evil Dead.
Uh-huh.
I consulted the book.
Uh-oh.
The
It's in
book
the book.
has Evil Dead 1. Does not have Evil Dead 2, but
That's
it has Evil
weird.
Dead 1.
I feel like Evil
Evil
Dead 2,
Dead
better
Evil Dead
movie.
1 it started it all. You know, it's I agree. Evil Dead 2 I enjoy a lot more.
It's definitely more fun.
It is. But if you like Evil Dead 2, you will like the end of Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. If you know the Evil Dead series,
I'm still trying to get caught up on all my other shows, and you just interject another one in
I
there.
feel
for
like
me.
Yeah.
season
Thanks
3
so
is
much.
probably coming out soon.
I think it is. I hadn't caught up with it, and I
think
don't have
October.
stars, so I had to buy it
Makes
on
sense.
DVD. And
It's
I
a
watched
house. It's a house this year at Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm very excited to go through it.
I'm a little jealous.
I'm gonna
Hold on, did you say Halloween Horror Nights?
horror,
Okay, like the movie genre.
horror.
Oh, brother.
Horror? Is that
I can't say horror.
okay? Just making sure.
Horror.
I don't want people to get. I don't want our show to get flagged.
It's definitely
And-
not Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, just making sure.
That's different. That's a different time. Oddly enough, in April.
When are you? Okay, so when are you going?
I am going the week of the 22nd. So I think technically I'm actually going on the 25th.
Okay, so like the last full week of October.
The week before the last. Yeah, the last full week.
last full week. So
Because I think Halloween is on a Wednesday, a spooky Wednesday this year.
yes, I believe so. It's middle of the week kind of stuff.
Spooky Wednesday.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think it's on Tuesday nights.
Maybe Spooky Tuesday.
I think it
I
is.
think you're right.
Because the
Ooh.
24th.
Oh, that's
well,
right.
Remember, we were talking about the 24th.
That's right.
So add 7 to that.
So
Math.
We're gonna have.
Are we doing a show on Halloween?
We're
Or
gonna have Spooky Halloween night. I
if
think
Local
we
Heroes,
have to,
if
though.
Local Heroes has a party though, Local
It
Heroes usually has a
depends.
Halloween party. I don't know if it's gonna be the weekend, but we'll ask Greg.
gonna have a
Greg's calling
video.
in a few minutes, so we'll ask Greg. Dean, what have you been up to? What have you been watching?
I've been mostly catching up on a lot of stuff. I finished Tick season 1.
Yes, so
which
did I. That was good.
I would recommend that one.
I've yet to start it.
It's fun.
You'll
It goes
enjoy
pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's only like 6 episodes.
Finished Voltron season 3.
Yeah,
Which
they've
is-
really stepped it up this season.
Voltron season 3 was the first season that I actually thought that things mattered. The things
Yeah.
that happened in each episode actually mattered to the overall
like
plot.
there was some weight to it.
Yeah. The introduction of Prince Lotor really helped on that one.
Okay,
For me.
I can see that.
And I plowed through season 7 of Doctor Who because I did not like that season at all.
I like season 7 better than I like season 6. I think
I like season 6 better.
I can see that. So
But personal preference.
yeah.
And then I watched Day of the Doctor. Which,
Oh, so you have watched the 50th special?
I've
then.
watched the 50th specials, and they mostly started to remind me how much I miss David Tennant.
Yeah, but Matt Smith is good. I don't fault Matt Smith. I fault the writing he got. So
Like I said, season 6 I actually enjoyed, and that was
Okay.
Matt Smith. Most of the doctors I really haven't had a problem with their performances. Even Chris Eccleston.
okay,
It was
yeah.
mostly in his show. It was the writing that was killing it for me. But did start season 8, so I'm interested in giving Peter Capaldi a chance.
I love Peter Capaldi so much. He's almost trumped David Tennant for me.
Yeah, I don't know
So-
about that, but I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes so far.
Okay.
And saw It, which is
Yeah, you guys both saw it. I haven't seen
I
it yet,
if,
right?
If you had told me at the beginning of the year that the movie that get me most excited in 2017 was a movie about
Baby Driver?
was about a clown that ate kids, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But no, it's an excellent film.
Okay,
I
good.
recommend it.
It's doing
yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
is that your review?
No, I'm sending secret messages to people who aren't here.
I've been recommended it even to people who don't like horror films.
Okay.
It's
on my list.
I'm trying to sell it as Goonies on steroids for people.
Someone else told me about that that way.
Yeah, let me give you my review.
Okay,
It's okay.
it's a movie.
It was a movie.
So
I
you guys
was
both
in
saw
this
the Tim
movie.
Curry one, I'm assuming. Yes.
Yes, it's not
No,
good.
okay.
Yeah, no.
So this is at least better than
I've
that.
always hated that.
Okay.
I've always
Yeah.
hated that. I hate all of I hate every single Stephen King television TV movie of the week.
I actually enjoyed The Stand.
Cannot stand The Stand.
I love that movie.
I can't stand The Stand because The Stand is so good and it deserves so much more than the TV actors that they get. I think that's my big problem. It's not even so much budget and scope.
Gary Sinise wasn't all that bad.
He wasn't that
he
bad.
Became,
No,
he
sure.
became famous after that.
Lieutenant Dan.
For how long though? I feel like he didn't stay famous for very long. I feel like Gary Sinise had a very small window of success right around Forrest
90s?
Gump.
Well, he got
Forrest
yeah,
Gump
Was that the
And,
sequel to Peter Gunn?
and Apollo 15.
He got famous for Forrest Gump, and then he ruined it with that Nicolas Cage movie. Was it? I can't remember.
That doesn't
what it was.
narrow it down. Which Nicolas Cage movie ruined someone's career?
No, it was. I can't swear to God, I can't remember the name of the film. But
How do
it was-
Nicolas Cage movies ruin everybody's career except for Nicolas Cage? That's what I want to know.
That's because he never had a career to begin with.
I feel
He-
like
he won
was
an
he's
Oscar.
winner.
Yeah.
Did you
For
ever
what?
Leaving Las Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah,
It's a
I haven't seen it in
fantastic performance.
years.
It's absolutely one of the most depressing films
Yeah, it
I've
really
ever
is.
seen.
But he deserved it. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
it
just
was, no, it was a great performance.
let's give it to this guy
Yeah.
because he's got a famous uncle.
I mean, well, the shoe fits.
I'm fine with it. If
So-
you have a famous uncle, give him an Oscar.
So, what? Anything else you guys been doing this week in pop culture? Any comics, TV shows?
Atlanta. I finally,
Oh, you finally got around to that,
Atlanta
huh?
finally showed up on Hulu, and I was very happy. And I'm already I'm most of the way through. I started watching Sunday night, and I'm like up to episode 7.
Dean, I highly recommend it. I don't know if you have Hulu,
I love
but
the fact that the month after I quit Hulu is when all the shows I
Yeah,
would have
and I
wanted
was
to
about
watch
to.
on Hulu
I
started
swear,
showing up.
I was about to quit Hulu because I was like, I need to save some money. It's $12. I never watch Hulu. And then I don't know. I spend a lot of time alone. So at night when I go to sleep, I put things on. So I started watching Hulu and watching American Pickers, and I would just put American Pickers on, and it'll go through the entire night of just I'll wake up and watch a little American Pickers, then fall back asleep. It's fantastic. So I started watching Hulu again. Right when I was about, it's almost like it knew it was good. But Atlanta's fantastic. That
So
episode that you
good.
said, the episode where
the
where
Black
he's on
American
the TV
Network, BAN,
I-
where Donald Glover's not even in it.
I was expecting it to be just a complete showcase of Donald Glover and all the other characters to kind of be one dimensional, especially from that first episode where it was like Paperboy was very, very one dimensional.
Right.
There's a lot of character work on all of the characters,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I was
there's the
really surprised by
Three,
that.
maybe four if you count the girlfriend. In
Yeah.
there. They're the four main ones.
Domino. That's who.
Yeah,
That's all,
yeah,
that's
or
all I think I
Domino,
could think
yes.
of. Yeah, and by the time it got to that episode, the fact that they broke format like that is something I'm totally into. Like, there might be an episode of Issues that does something very, very similar.
What's issues?
I'm not talking about it. And it got me from the commercial. Like the first commercial that they ran was for like Arizona iced tea, and he goes,
No, technically, the first commercial was the Chargers because they did that whole
Oh, that's true,
storyline of the
that's true, they
Charger
did the
commercial.
Charger.
Because I didn't realize at first when I first saw the Charger commercial, I was like,
"Oh, it's
oh, weird." FX, because I was watching on the FX app, I was like, FX is putting commercials in their stuff. Weird, but okay, whatever. And then by like the second or third one, I was like,
So I guess it
you
was the
sneaky
second.
jerk.
The second, because Arizona iced tea has 99 cents written on the can. So he goes up to buy an Arizona iced tea, and it rings up as $1.49, and both like the clerk and the guy like just get really like confused, and he's just like, the price is on the can though, and that's the tagline. The price is on the can though.
The
love
documentary bit they had in that episode about the the young
transracial?
black kid. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to look for.
He was transracial.
He was a young black kid. He thought he was a 35-year-old white man.
He's a 35-year-old white man,
And they play it up so
who works
seriously.
as a like a systems analyst at Coke. Meanwhile, he worked at a Foot Locker or something.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, they get him on for like a second segment, and he's like completely against like
Gays.
transgender.
That's just weird, man.
No, I
It's
would.
great.
I
It's
would.
great writing.
I would be tempted to go back to Hulu at this point. However, I have become so annoyed with the explosion of streaming services. I've kind of embargoed on going to any new ones.
If it helps, I've started watching Rick and Morty, and that's also hilarious and on Hulu.
If it helps, you can give me a username and password, and I'll
It's
consider.
actually not mine; it's Sarah's. See, that's the very nice thing about this household. Is Sarah has half of the streaming services, I have the other half.
Smart.
It works out. But the documentary stuff made me reminded me. I started watching American Vandal. I'm only 2 episodes in, and I love
Who
it.
drew the dicks?
Hashtag who drew the dicks? Yes.
I was
Have you
worried.
seen the trailer for that?
I've seen it. I've seen
Okay.
trailer,
The
yes.
trailer looked good, and you guys were like freaking out about it. I loved the hashtag who drew the dicks, but I was like, I think this is gonna get old pretty fast. Sounds like it doesn't.
It
Sounds
doesn't.
it's
Like
silly
everyone
and really
is
good.
loving it, and the fact, like, I'm not spoiling anything. I was able to convince Sarah to let me Netflix cheat for like 2 episodes, just so I could. Chris, we are actually in the new studio house. Isn't that what we decided on? What do we call this?
Poor Chris. He's like watching my show, where I'm in a different location. I just
You
time
know what the
jump
consist-
everywhere.
You know what the consistency is,
You know-
though?
you-
Toys in the background.
Toys in the
Maybe
background.
Popped Cave. I have no idea what
Yeah,
you
the
want to call
Popped
it.
Cave.
I like it. Popped Cave. Look
That's
at that.
it.
Boom.
We're the
We're
Pop
at the
Cave
Pop
now.
See,
Cave.
this is why you guys need me.
It is. This is why we have you. You write on popshow.com and all the fun stuff. But yeah, Matt, actually, real quick, you do a show Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m., correct?
Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Yep. On, what is it? Facebook.com/Matt Wade Videos.
Yeah. You can find me there.
All right. Well, I mean, short of
Give it
people,
a like.
short of people adding you personally. So, but yeah, American Vandals got 2 episodes in. The beginning of the second episode revolved around, no joke, I'm trying to be this as family friendly as possible, around a hand job, around an old fashioned. And they analyzed, this kid was bragging about getting a hand job, and they did this whole like recreate. You know how they,
old fashioned.
it's an old fashioned. And they did this recreation thing where, you know, in the crime shows where they've got like, okay, this is where the crime happened, and then they like move the camera and all these like super 3D angles, and like they did it for like 3 different perspectives. Like, nope, no one could have seen it from over here, and this is where a lot of people were hanging out. So they move over to the other side. Nope, no one could have seen it. There was no good perspective to see the hand job. And they spent the first half of the second episode trying to figure out if this kid was being honest about a hand job.
Did
because
they
at
use
time-
did he use reenactors for it?
No, they use CGI images of like red woman, the red man sitting on this deck where they were.
That's fantastic. I'm
They're
definitely gonna
taking
check
it
out.
incredibly great. It's
I'm
awesome.
definitely gonna check it out.
I might have to see if I can watch more tonight because I'm loving that. And Rick and Morty, those are the 2 new shows for me. So
Hey, did you get to get Swifty yet?
no, was it the end of the first? I've seen the first season.
You'll know.
Wasn't it
no,
the
no,
cat?
it's in
Isn't
second.
okay, it isn't. I haven't done
Nah.
the second. The first season had me. I was like, all right, this is pretty good. And then the second season, first episode where they got into the time jumps and all that stuff, I was like, oh my god.
Wait
this
till
is-
you get to interdimensional cable.
Okay, well we'll see what they have there, but for now, let's you know what? Let's play a little intro here, gentlemen. Sorry.
You guys have gotten fancy since I've last been on.
I know, we've got intros now. Comics with Greg.
Is it actually with Greg? Are we about to talk to Greg?
Greg is back from a 2-week vacation, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't in Norfolk. I got out of Norfolk.
Smart.
It's probably a good idea, honestly.
Smart. It all
And
flowed.
it was I feel really good coming in after the hand job conversation too.
Old
I
fashioned.
mean,
Sir.
I mean, if there's any conversation to be had, it's let's be honest. This is the way to bring you back in, Greg.
Yes, the one sexual thing I'll turn down in a heartbeat, the hand job, because sometimes they're just not great.
Oh,
But anyway,
poor Sarah's probably somewhere thinking, why did I let the guys do the show?
This is what happens when she doesn't do the show with us.
She's just
where is Sarah? I was watching. I saw a
can
guy
we-
that
can
didn't
we
look
say
like
she's in
Sarah
a-
and didn't look like Keith
I don't
or
think we can
Matt.
say.
No,
So-
that's our buddy Dean. Him and I play in a music band together. We play the rock and roll. And he is
Nice.
generous enough to come fill in when Sarah is doing top secret things in top secret locations.
She's doing top. She's trying to stop an email going to WHRO now.
Basically. Don't watch tonight's show. So, Greg, welcome back.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It's
Yeah,
good to
cool.
be immersed in pop culture again, both in a comic store and through your radio show.
It is great to have you back, and I missed your face at the shop.
Juan
so-
didn't jump, did he? I think he was calling from the top of a building last week.
Yeah,
we were
I
concerned.
was nervous to put Juan back in, to bat, but apparently he called both times. I don't know
He
if he
did.
did a good job
He did.
or not, but
He did. It was like
Held
riding a
it down.
bicycle. He jumped right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
he's so charming. I don't have that charm that Juan has. He's just
no.
a charming guy.
You have way
You have a
more charm
different-
than Juan has. It's just a
You
different
have a
kind
different type of charm. It's
Yeah.
like riding a bicycle with no seat.
Exactly.
Greg, what do we got going on in local heroes? Because I heard there's a fancy day going on tomorrow. Is it? No, wait. Is it tomorrow or is it
Tomorrow's
later
fancy
on?
day?
No, let's see. What day is it?
There is a fancy day.
Saturday. Yes.
Batman Day. It's a celebration of all things Batman
Oh.
for adults and kids. We're going to have free Batman comics to give away, free Harley Quinn comics to give away because it's her 25th anniversary. We'll have a coloring contest for kids, costume contest, masks to give away, a bunch of stuff. And I'm also making my my air quotes legendary chocolate cupcakes
Ooh.
from scratch
Oh, you cook?
for the day. So
Look at you, Renaissance
I don't use
man.
a box.
He's only
No
bringing
mix.
3.
It's all top end shit.
All right.
So
I like
from
it.
scratch. From scratch, I say.
You know what? If you're not in the comics, at least come out for Greg's Cupcakes. That's what I've been saying for a while.
They're really good.
Yeah, they are. I
So-
believe you.
Saturday, 11 to 8, cupcakes while they last.
Awesome. All right. Well, in the meantime,
And there's only 3, so get there early.
in the meantime,
Yeah,
what can we pick up tomorrow at Local Heroes?
I feel like, in addition to Batman Day, there's big Batman stuff tomorrow, both in the form of the Red Death, which is the first metal Batman solo character book, the different evil Batmans. This is the first one.
Okay.
Comes out tomorrow. People have been really digging metal. It's selling great. The reception has been terrific, which is rare for an event comic. Usually it's like, hey, this sucks, or I don't like this because, but metal seems to be universally liked 2 issues in. So the Red Death, the first of 4 or 5 of the evil Batman books tomorrow. And you also get a button if you buy it from Local Heroes.
Ooh. I
So
like
one more
buttons.
reason. Also, Batman the Master Race collection comes out tomorrow from Frank Miller and Company. So if you miss that in single issues, you can get the whole thing tomorrow for a reasonable price.
Excellent.
Did anyone read the Master Race?
No. Honestly, I
No.
was kind of just waiting for it to come out and trade.
It was better than I thought. It was better than The Dark Knight Strikes Again, but not as
Okay.
good as the original, obviously.
That series turned me off to the whole.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so bad. Didn't really.
I
was
wouldn't
afraid
even
to
watch
go
the
back.
cartoon.
What the?
I wouldn't even watch the Dark Knight Returns cartoon after that.
Oh, after the
Wow.
second
How about
series,
the cartoon
it
was
was
actually
really
pretty
good.
good.
This cartoon was worth
The
it.
cartoon was good.
I hated Strikes Again so much
But yeah.
that it actually hurt how much I like
Don't
Dark Knight Returns.
don't deprive yourself of
Yeah.
that. Dark Knight Returns is a fantastic
It's like
cartoon.
saying that since before Watchmen was terrible, I'm not going to read Watchmen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that
Exactly.
either.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So that's it for Batman tomorrow.
Okay.
But then the book that might be the sleeper hit tomorrow is going to be, in my opinion, hear me out, Wonder Woman and Conan crossover into one comic book. And I actually peeked through the first issue, and it looks pretty awesome.
So like she goes on a
So
talk
if you're
show,
a Wonder Woman
and like
or a Conan fan,
she's the guest.
Conan,
like,
no, not Conan. Conan.
Okay.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm getting the pronunciation right because my nerd cred is on the line.
Does he do that string dance?
is Andy
Yeah.
that Andy guy there, Andy Richter?
Poor Greg.
Uh,
He's gonna need another vacation.
He might
for
not come back
everybody who's
next
a
week.
Saga fan, there's and a Penn fan. If you're a Penn person, which a lot of people are, I am actually a Penn person. I have a book bag covered in pens, and one that will go on there tomorrow is the new Lion Cat pen that I've been waiting for forever.
Was it
That's,
you guys that
from
tweeted
Saga.
that out? Or not tweeted that out, that posted that today? Because I saw it. It looks
did, yeah.
fantastic.
It really does.
Is that two
It
pieces?
is. It's a good look. It's two. It is two separate pins.
Oh, so the
One with
talking
the
bubble.
lying word bubble, and then one with the cat. So
It does look really good. Makes
Good
me want to
stuff.
use pins.
And seriously, if you guys aren't reading Saga, you need to. Saga is a great
I'm
series.
behind.
I'm all caught up, but
It
it's
is.
still great.
It
It's
broke
worth
my
it.
heart.
it is, and the best thing about Saga is it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, like all good comics should.
Yeah.
So
She has it all laid out and
Speaking of which, I was at my mom's house.
stuff. Yeah.
And I uncovered all 10 volumes of my Why the Last Man.
Nice.
And I was so happy, and I
Oh.
started reading it again
That's a
because
great
it is my
series.
favorite
It's really
absolute
awesome.
comic
I've
probably
got
of all time.
Got it back here. It's so good.
I love it.
that
It has
is a
nothing
good
to do
one.
with Saga, but
One of the comics I look forward to the most every year is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Halloween comic that comes out tomorrow. It's weird, like no one or sell very few Simpsons comics on the regular, but this annual Halloween issue, people always go crazy for it. I don't know if it just puts you in the mood for Halloween or if it's always really great though. So that's out tomorrow.
geez, they've
We
been doing
also
that for
got
like
a
25
restock.
years, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done these forever. It's
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
And we also got a restock of the Kid Robot Simpsons Treehouse of Horror blind box, which is one of their most popular series that's been going forever. And they went back to press on these figures, and those came in this week too. So get in the Halloween spirit, guys.
I think we can do that. We can make that happen.
I'm trying.
Yep.
But yeah, good day tomorrow. Lots of stuff. Generations from Marvel. There's it's not so many big titles, but there's a lot of things that you get every week that are out tomorrow. So it should
Yeah,
be a good week.
I think I've got a Turtles collection coming out tomorrow.
You do have a Turtles collection coming out tomorrow.
I'm pretty standard on the stuff I get. I mean, let's be honest.
really
There's
are.
no surprise.
No,
Like
yeah,
I used to
completely
I used to take
predictable.
pictures of what I used to get from local heroes, and then it was like,
Why?
all right, Turtles, Ghostbusters,
Turtles,
Saga,
Saga. Yeah.
it's Flash. So, all right, Greg, where can they go to Batman Day this Saturday the 23rd and pick up comics on tomorrow, Wednesday?
Both places are at Local Heroes, 1905 Colonial Avenue in Ghent, right next to Kogan's and Cafe Stella. Bring your kids for Saturday and bring yourself for New Comic Day tomorrow. If you're not local, I'm sure there's other great stores that are doing Batman Day. It is voluntary, so not every comic store will be having an event, but if they are, you can check comicshoplocator.com, or you can Google Batman Day, and they'll give you a map of the participating stores.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I will see you tomorrow, sir. Coming in from my books. And maybe I'll see you on Saturday, too. I think I have some free time. I'll swing up there
Can't
for
wait.
Batman Day.
One day I'll start collecting again.
Yeah. I got you there for like
Yeah,
a few weeks,
Matt-
and then you were gone.
Yeah, Matt's he's the worst.
I'm
But
just,
he's great, so
I'm just
But
Never
you're
forget.
you're dead to Greg.
I'm
That's
just
really what he's
not-
trying to say.
I'm
Dead,
absolutely not enjoying anything that Marvel and DC are doing.
Go independent,
Yeah,
man.
there's so much more
There's
out
so-
there than
yeah.
just Marvel and DC these
I
days.
know.
Don't pigeonhole yourself.
But it just makes me
what
sad.
a cop-out excuse that is.
It
Oh,
is.
wow.
It's
Getting
money.
put on blast by Greg
It's a money thing.
Seriously.
It's money.
because you'll start buying all the comics.
I
if
was,
it's, if
I
you're
was
not-
starting to get right back up to $50, $60, $70 a week.
Yeah,
All right,
and
well, do that again,
Good
please.
point.
Thank you.
Greg would appreciate it if you did. So start getting that rolling, Matt. Awesome, Greg. Well, as always, it was a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for coming back. Glad you made it back safely, and we will see you next week, man.
Thanks, fellas. Well, take care.
You too.
too.
Bye, Greg.
Bye.
I feel bad.
Have I said how awesome Greg is lately?
I've been collecting for what, 30 years? 20, yeah, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And then just lately, I just can't get back into it. Not even the independent stuff. I was reading some of the Image stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I guess this is good. I just need to reset. I think.
One series I would recommend is Invincible.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm
one that's on my
mostly
list.
caught up.
If you
And it's about to end,
If you
too.
get back into it
Mhm.
now, you'll probably be able to catch up right before it ends. So
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm not that far behind. Maybe 6 months behind on
Yeah.
Invincible.
But I'm right there with you with the Marvel and DC, kind of tiring me out. But like I said, there's so much more out there these days than just those two. My funny story is that I was always a big Spider-Man fan, collecting the Spider-Man comic books for years.
I'm sorry.
And then at one point, when the Clone Saga came out,
It's good
killed
times.
it for me, so I stopped. Tried to
Fantastic
get
times.
tried to get back into it, and that's when they released the fact that Gwen Stacy slept with Norman Osborn.
What?
and had kids.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped it right
But
again.
then it was like clones. And then
Yeah.
did you read?
Oh,
did you
so
read
weird.
recently the what was it? The updated clone saga that they did just a few months ago.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Still garbage.
Yeah, and then
Jackal.
yeah.
It's Jackal, and it's the same garbage. They're
And
always
then
feeding
I
these stupid
tried to get
clones.
back into it again the third time, and that's when One More Day hit, where they broke up MJ and Peter's marriage because he made a deal with Mephisto for some reason.
Cool.
And I was okay, I'm done again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Three
So you guys
strikes and you're out.
didn't like the Doc Ock switching and becoming Superior?
I did like Superior Spider-Man.
that was good.
Superior was a
yeah.
good run, I thought.
That was
That's
fantastic.
when I
It
actually
was-
jumped back into Spider-Man.
It was really well written.
It was surprisingly well done. I didn't think I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
But it was
Superior.
well
I
done.
really enjoyed Superior.
Yeah, I will say I love
And it was a solid run that had a beginning and it had an ending, which I
Yeah, I think that
appreciate.
helped.
So it does
Yeah.
help.
and Dr. Octopus made a great Spider-Man. It was completely
did.
different, and I respect that. It was decent writing.
So, do you guys want to do some news?
I think I'm just mad at the mutants.
The
I'm mad at what they did to
Oh.
the mutants.
Yeah, well,
And the
is that
X-Men.
what are you gonna get Marvel versus Capcom?
I'm just
because of that?
well, I'll end up getting it. I hate what they've done to the X-Men, and I can't even. And this stuff they're doing with the generations,
Well,
and
the-
I can't even
I-
wrap my head
I
around it.
think
Now Jean
they've,
Grey's back.
yeah.
I'm done.
I think they've mishandled the Fantastic Four more than they have the
That
X-Men.
is true.
I mean, the Fantastic Four don't even have a comic book anymore.
Who are the Fantastic Four?
Exactly. Michael Chiklis and that guy that's now Captain America.
Too soon?
No, not soon enough.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear? Well, it's not news, but we should probably throw it in the news. There's a rumor that they're pushing for a Power Pack movie now.
I have heard because why not?
Of course, might as well, right?
Yeah.
So, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into some news. How about that? You guys
Oh,
wanna do some
news.
news?
I wanna do
Oh,
some-
that's
do some
right. Dean
news.
hasn't seen this.
Oh.
Gotta read the public matter.
Public meter.
I love that Miles pointed out. Like, oh, you weren't here for that. Miles pointed out that it's actually the Public Metro. There's an O at the end of the world.
In English, please.
Nice. Yeah, you guys
yeah.
have gotten pretty fancy.
Public meter.
Yeah,
we gotta
public
step up
meter's
the,
still the best way to say
We gotta
it.
step up the production if we're gonna get picked up by major
What?
outlets
Who?
like
Like the Popped Cave?
Pop Cave.
I should charge money for this stuff.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris likes that we're surrounded by coolness.
I think
Someone thinks my stuff's cool.
I think
you
that's
hear
the
that,
only-
Sarah? Someone likes my stuff.
she's not here. She's on a top secret assignment.
I
remember?
know. That's why I'm yelling it really loudly.
Because she wouldn't have the guts to otherwise.
Yeah,
Good job.
exactly. I can't actually put it on mic, so if I yell it in the background, yeah, this is my collection of man cave
I
stuff,
think
and this,
if
you
you-
can't even see like 2/3 of it. You can only see like a third of what I've got.
You can't see the thing that I'm most jealous of that I didn't pull the trigger on.
The
even
Lego
though I was-
Firehouse.
The Lego
It's
Firehouse.
just behind. Right.
I'm gonna end up pulling. I'm gonna
back there.
finally end up pulling the trigger on the Lego Firehouse, and it's gonna be sold out. Like I'm finally gonna be like, you know what?
Well,
That's
let's
it.
see. Hold on. Let's see.
350. I'm gonna do it.
I tried when I was at Disney World, they had the Lego store there a while back. They had the original Super Millennium Falcon set for $500.
I wanted to get that
and
one.
I so
I was
wanted to
there
get
too.
that, and I was talked out of it because and to be fair, $500 is an awful lot
It
to
is
be
a
buying
lot.
for a Lego kit.
But now it's going for like
But now,
15.
yeah, now so.
Well, and now they've updated it with like new
Yeah.
old man Han Solo,
yeah.
old man Solo.
So yeah, they are re-releasing
Well,
it.
no, because
Yeah.
that was the what do they call it? They call it something.
No, the Black Label
Collector's
Edition.
Series.
Yeah, but they've got that one. But they've also before Force Awakens came out, they released another Millennium Falcon one with
Oh, yeah, I saw that
with
one.
old man.
But that was
Solo.
the regular Lego one.
Yeah.
When I was at Disney maybe 10 years ago, they had the Star Destroyer.
I got the Superstar.
He
Destroyer.
did the Star Destroyer. He has it.
God, that must be awesome.
It's pretty good.
How long did it take you to put that one together?
It was 2 hours a night for 5 days.
So 10 hours.
And
yeah,
that's when there was no kids and there was no wife.
yeah,
So
that helps.
it was
I,
all
I did the
me.
Lego Firehouse in one sitting, 12 hours.
That's
Sarah
pretty
was bringing
impressive.
me food, so
That's pretty impressive.
and it's still available.
I was so
$350.
well, see, now now I got a problem. Now I waited too long, and now I've got a conundrum because I don't know if I want to get this one or if I want to get the castle.
Cinderella
They've
Castle.
got Cinderella's castle.
Yeah, you are pretty well. Okay, how about this? Get the Cinderella Castle. You can come over here and look at the
And
firehouse
then
all
you
you
can come
want.
over and look at my Cinderella castle.
Yes, Lego Cinderella Castle. That's exactly what we meant. Well, and Dean, I don't know if you saw this, but I also got the Playmobil stuff. I haven't put the firehouse together. It's in the closet. I haven't put it together.
I know.
I don't have any room for
Dude,
it.
every time I've been over since you've gotten it,
Yeah.
I've been looking for it and disappointed when I don't see it.
No,
I think that one I am gonna buy.
I've had to stop collecting a lot because I just have no place to put.
But that's the
stuff
thing. I
anymore.
don't know. Like, and that's part of why I haven't put this Playmobil firehouse together. Is I just don't have room for it.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
the poster behind me?
even going back to the
Hang on, I
comic
gotcha.
books, I literally have no place to put the comic books either. So
Yeah,
it was
right in
all
front
digital.
of me, I've got all these boxes right here that I just I will bag and board my single issues, and eventually I'm gonna when those boxes get full, I'm gonna throw them in the attic.
And I mean, I was going pretty good with the digital subscriptions for a while, but then since it's digital, I don't have the hard copy of it.
Yeah.
I would forget.
you
I'd
have
forget
it?
what I have.
Yeah, that's
So I was like,
I think Chris is asking. About
Chris
this
has got a
poster.
question. Yeah, the poster. Oh wait, let's see here. Hold on.
I'm pointing to it.
Yep, there you go.
Look how fancy
It's
that is.
my Blues Brothers poster. It's one of my pride and joys because you don't see that movie poster for it very often.
Is that is that an original?
I doubt it. I can't
Reprint?
imagine it is. But yeah, and right next to that, you can't see it just off screen from Matt. There's a Ghostbusters poster. Behind Matt's left elbow is a Rhodes keyboard, and let's see that bookshelf.
I'm
I don't think
jealous-
we've never actually done this. So
I'm
we should,
jealous. I'm jealous because right in front of me, what I'm always looking at
Oh,
is one of the maroon cartoon Roger Rabbit tummy trouble.
Yeah, the Tony
poster.
Trump
That was
movie
good.
poster. I don't want to say how
And
much
I'm
that cost me
super
to
jealous
frame.
about that.
Oh, dude, like because I
It's
got the
beautiful.
I got the UV glass for it. I got the custom
Sure.
frame because it's
All
not
out.
a 27 by 40. It was pretty expensive. I don't know. Okay, yeah, you can see it over me. Let's see here. Right there we go. That right there, the NECA Leonardo from the 1990 movie. I've also got Donatello and Raphael over in front of Matt over there.
Those are nice
but
figures.
I just got the notification the other day. Michelangelo's getting shipped.
Well, now you got to take them out and play with them.
I might have to.
They're too awesome.
They're so awesome.
You got to set those up. You're never gonna resell that.
No, I'm
Just
not
save
gonna.
the
I'm not
box.
gonna resell it,
Save the
but
box.
I don't like it. Okay, this is gonna sound bad. It's easier to clean them when they're in the box.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But
So
you can't play with them if they're
yeah,
not.
and what you guys can see actually here in the video. Let's see here. So from this point, going that way, continuing on, and well, look, it's cut up. There we go. My arm does a weird
keep
thing
your
in the
fingers
camera.
to yourself, Keith.
Right above Matt's head is an entire shelf of Funko, which is completely full, and exactly mirrored on the other wall is another wall of Funko and just figures in general.
The Wall of Funko.
Yes, and I'm still not done. I've got a wish list of
Oh,
about
look,
20 different pops.
there's a Mega Buster back there.
A what? Oh yeah, the Mega Buster behind me. You can't see it because of the chair. There's a Mega Buster from Mega Man. I've got a Lego Volkswagen van. I've got comics galore, and actually, right above your right shoulder, Matt, there's some Usagi Yojimbo statues that I really enjoy. Usagi and Jin, and next to them is a Playmate statue back from, 08, 09, I think. That is a recreation of one of the big opening panels for the first Turtles comic. So,
I'm gonna feel bad when
House
this room
burns down?
when this room floods and all of it's destroyed.
trust me, with all of the
I feel
with
bad.
all of the hurricane stuff they've been talking about lately, Sarah and I have said, we'll hold on if it's like a category 2 or 3, but even if we have to abandon this house, all this stuff is getting moved upstairs. So it's. God, I hope it
I
doesn't
say
get that
sell
flooded.
it all and open a barcade.
You tried to do hijack the topic for the night.
Nope.
You guys talked about the barcade on your show last night. We'll recycle the topic in
I
a few
just
weeks.
want
I'm sure.
barcade. I just want a barcade. That's
Don't we
it.
all? Trust me. If I could get an arcade machine in here, don't you think I would have one?
I'm watching. Oh, I'm Miss Pac-Man. It's
all
coming.
right, no, we'll work on that.
I'm
We'll work
getting
on the
a Miss
heist.
Pac-Man, and I'm getting a Donkey Kong. 2018 is the year of my Miss Pac-Man and Donkey Kong.
All right, let me know what I can do to help that.
Possibly a Pac-Man.
And Chris, I
Like,
totally
give me a
agree.
few
This I can come into this room and just escape from everything. And this is my popped cave. This is where I go to, relax and look at all the cool shit I got.
Also,
Yeah.
where we do.
Yeah,
Relax.
I mean,
Look
there's a
at all the
display
cool shit
cabinet
that we
with
get.
Doctor Who Lego.
Why am I talking
Electric
about
Mayhem.
a heist? Why am I talking about a heist for?
You stay
getting
out of
that
this
Miss Pac-Man?
house. You stay out of this house, Matt
This
Wade.
is the
You haven't,
heist.
you haven't given him a key yet, right?
No, heck no. He will never get a key to this house.
I don't need keys. Where I'm going, I don't need keys. Smash that
Oh.
back window.
Do you see what Chris has? He's got a next gen
Star
pinball.
Trek that is a great.
Wow.
That is a great machine too. Did you guys ever play the Star Trek: The Next Generation pinball machine?
I
It's
played
great.
the Phantom Menace pinball machine. Once you played that, I mean, is there really any other pinball machine you need to play?
T2. Yeah, that's a terrible. The Phantom Menace pinball machine is terrible. Elvira's good. Adam's Family. I wish I had an Adam's Family.
All right, that's another topic for another day, though. 'cause
Pinball machines I want.
oh yeah, the pinball machines and arcade machines with in houses we can't afford.
Yeah,
because
they
that's
got a
the
new
only-
Ghostbuster one that came out.
Yeah,
It's
uh,
$5
trust me,
grand.
I know.
It's like
Oh my-
$5-6 grand.
Yeah, sure. Let me just write you a
You've
check.
got that, right?
Yeah, sure. You not see this house that I've got?
Sure, sell it.
This broke me,
Sell it.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
my
just wait-
bank account, zilch.
just wait.
This room, zilch.
Just wait till you have a kid.
Nah.
Don't worry. I don't have a house and my bank account is zero.
Fair point. Dean's got a kid. His bank account
Yes.
is zero.
I don't even have a bank account. It's Sarah's at this point. My Sarah.
I'm just
Yes,
going
yeah,
through and
different
selling things. I'm like, can I sell this on eBay?
That's
It's
where I'm
broken.
at. Is like if I want something else, I've got to sell something first.
Yeah, and honestly, with the going back, coming full circle, if you will, that's why the reason why the Ghostbuster Firehouse Playmobil was not put together. I don't know where I'm going to put it right now.
I thought you're considering selling it.
No. I've still got a few more sets of those that I need to get. I don't know. Maybe I'll get rid of these comic boxes right here in front of me, and maybe I'll just have like a
That's a
Firehouse
perfect place.
collection.
You got to put Jake somewhere though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know,
what
man.
Yo,
Maybe
that's
put him-
another thing. I've also
maybe
got
put him with Elwood.
Blues Brothers statues in here as well. Oh,
This could
man.
easily moved out to the living room. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
need
good
them
luck
in
with
here,
that.
right?
Yeah, right. It's a good.
Perfectly
I'm lucky enough
sensible.
to have my DVD closet at this point, right?
Sarah has an office, right? What's in there?
Anyways, let's do news before someone gets in trouble.
It's too late.
And by trouble, I mean me.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
We're
thanks,
fine.
Thanks, jerks.
Hey, you invited me on this program.
I know, and I regret it every time. All right, let's see what we've got here in the news. All right, so HBO has a new show. It's called The Deuce. They've aired 2 episodes, and it's already renewed for a second season because
Good for them.
people like porn.
It is true.
Imagine that. I mean, did anyone know that? I didn't.
You know what? I think
I
it's
don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a Red Shoe Diary with a story. And in the 70s, and not at all like Red Shoe Diaries.
Nostalgia
start-
is big these days. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we got this. We had Glow.
I think
That's true.
Oh, I love Glow.
Glow is pretty good.
I think I like this.
Yeah. How far have you gotten in it?
I'm caught up.
Okay.
I've watched all 2 episodes so far.
So is it like a James Franco version of the Clumps? Is James Franco
Just
doing
one of them
is-
farting.
I just imagine it's James Franco doing his best Eddie Murphy at this
It's
point. How
weird
many roles
because,
can he play?
James Franco plays every role in the show, and it's a sight to see.
Even the Maggie Gyllenhaal parts?
all of them.
All right.
If you want to see Maggie Gyllenhaal naked, this is where you go to see it.
Not interested in the show anymore.
This show.
Yes, this show. No, The Deuce.
Yeah, there's a lot of naked.
Okay. It's on my list to watch.
I feel
mean,
bad. Like that's not a really good review. This is why I don't review things. I guess something happened. There were titties. That was Joe Popcorn. I said that in
Yeah,
character,
thanks,
so
Joe
I can get a-
Popcorn. Yeah,
I can
Joe
get. I can get.
We
a-
might have to have a resurgence of Joe Popcorn tonight, because no one's here to rein him in. Actually, we probably shouldn't because no one's here to rein him
That's a
in.
good point.
So, all right. Dean, you don't have HBO.
I
So
do not have HBO,
I don't know.
so I'm
Have you
out.
seen Westworld at all? Speaking of HBO shows?
I had
What's
the
Westworld?
I got the free month
Okay.
of HBO Go so I could watch Westworld.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
But then
whenever
he
I-
didn't.
No, I did actually
He
watch it. I was a little under the weather while watching it, so how much of it I remember I couldn't say. But
Yeah.
no, it was a good show. And I like a lot of HBO stuff, but again, it gets back to that. It's another subscription service.
Yeah.
So.
Now that we've got HBO Go, like I just go back and watch The Sopranos over and over again.
Yeah, I need
Just-
to get into that. I actually want to watch Curb Your
Have you
Enthusiasm.
never watched The Sopranos? You know it's
I never
like
had
a
H-
masterpiece.
I
of
didn't get HBO until
television.
about a year and a half ago.
So you haven't seen The Wire either?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
a lot of these are
man.
on my list. It's just
You
wow.
got to catch up with those. I
Yeah.
would put The
I
Sopranos.
actually
at the
want. I
top.
want to
You got a lot to
over
watch.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You
That's
can
coming out
skip
with
a
season
couple of
9.
seasons of
Okay.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
All right.
I feel like Curb Your Enthusiasm took a little bit to find its leggings.
Yes.
It
it's
didn't have
leggings.
its- didn't have its
It was in
leggings.
the
It was all
80s.
Curb is really good though.
Okay.
Curb is like an angrier Seinfeld.
That's perfect.
It's like a really angry Larry David. Is
I love
angry.
cynical people. I'm one of them.
Oh, then you'll like it.
Actually, this is a lot of cynicism right here in this room, personally.
The best.
Yep.
One of my favorite episodes is Michael J. Fox. It lives above him,
Mm-hmm.
and
A lot of Parkinson jokes.
he starts like passive aggressively doing mean things to Larry David, like shaking his soda up, like giving him a soda, it explodes on him,
That's awesome.
and like making a lot of noise above him, and he's like, you can't call him out because he's got Parkinson's. It's fantastic, and I'll watch anything with Michael J. Fox anyway. I love Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah. He had a
Even
sh-
post Parkinson,
he had that.
he's so great.
He had that show that came out for like a season and didn't.
It
Was it any
okay.
good?
It was okay. It wasn't great. It's
lot of
just,
shows
it is hard, and I hate being that guy, but it is hard watching him
Mm-hmm.
just because, like, just remembering how he was and how
Right.
this kind of disease is really taking. But he
He fights through it, though.
He fights it. I mean, he works and
Good for him.
like he was in Rescue Me.
Okay.
We had
A bunch,
guest
and-
role in Scrubs for a couple of episodes, which was pretty good.
It
role
just
for him.
it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks that it had to take him down like that.
Yeah.
He's
Such a good
so good and so likable.
Yeah.
He just oozes charisma. I mean, can you imagine Back to the Future with
Eric Stoltz.
Eric
No,
Stoltz?
God, no,
God.
God,
neither
no.
could
Zemeckis and Gale.
I'm like, yeah, we gotta get
There's
rid
like
of
a
it.
couple of shots. I was like, no, we need to replace this guy.
I don't think it would have been a classic.
I don't
No?
think it would have been either.
No, not at all.
don't
Even
think it would've
with Christopher Lloyd in it.
Yeah, no, I think Michael J. Fox is needed to make that movie perfect.
Yeah, it really
Agreed.
did. And you
Because I do
can't,
think it's a perfect
you're
movie.
never going to be able to recreate that. I mean,
No, same
and they're
with
gonna try.
Ghostbusters,
They're
same
gonna
with
they're
the-
gonna remake it at some point. and
Zemeckis has said he's not going to let anybody remake it as long as he's alive. It will not happen.
I feel
he's
with-
not going to
he's
give up
not
the
gonna
rights.
be alive forever.
I
Unfortunately,
know, but it's
You
if
still
he's
got-
gonna if
you've
he's
still
gonna
got
keep
Amblin,
making
you
it,
got
if he's
Spielberg.
gonna hold strong
Yeah.
and not let it happen while he's alive,
more power to him.
respect, man.
You know what though? I don't think anybody will come along and remake it.
You know, would you have said that 10
would-
years ago about the Karate Kid?
I wouldn't-
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. I wouldn't say it about
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters is a different thing.
RoboCop. I mean,
Yeah.
why did they even?
RoboCop makes no sense. Now you guys are just being mean to me. And next you're going to say that they're making Total Recall.
Yeah, they're remaking True Lies as a TV show.
Because
Actually,
that always works.
that's it.
You know they actually remade Total Recall a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I was.
Did you watch it?
Nah.
No,
Hell no.
It looked terrible.
It did look terrible. That's why I didn't.
Like
love it.
I said that I only brought it back up because when you guys didn't react, I was like, I don't know if that actually happened.
No, it did.
Like I started down myself. I was like,
no,
Did it
no, you're
Wait
right.
a minute.
They
It
did
happened.
remake it.
It totally happened.
did they
and,
make a Total Recall?
and now they're making now they're making a True Lies remake
Well,
as
I-
a TV show.
Okay, I can
Segue.
understand that a little better. I can understand that a little better.
I think the spy thing because they're doing the Jack Ryan, Jack
Yeah.
Reacher,
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan with
Patriot Games.
yeah, with the dude from
Hunt for Red October.
That's another one they
It's
remade.
from The Office.
Some of All
Office,
Fears.
yeah, Jim. Why can't I think of his name? He's
John
married.
Krasinski.
Yeah, he's married to Emily Blunt. I couldn't remember his name. I blanked.
Knowing
feel like
him
that's the
from
best
being
thing
in
he's
the
done.
knowing him from being in The Office, I can't imagine him playing Jack Ryan.
He got beefed up for one
No,
of the movie
it was
roles recently.
yeah, he did that. Was it Oliver Stone? The
I don't remember right now. Hang on, let's look it up.
The Bin Laden movie. There was another one.
We'll get to Mother here in a second. Chris.
127 hours.
I think
He
that
sawed
was-
his arm off.
Is that how Obama died? Or Osama died?
Whoa!
I was going.
man.
Yeah,
That
I
was
killed it.
That's
Sorry.
not right, dude.
No, that's. you know
It's
what
like what? Oh, Dark 30.
Yeah, that's something.
No, it was
Detroit?
13 hours. The Secret Soldier.
13 hours. There you go. Yeah,
I
so he
believe
got
that
all
was,
he got all jacked up for that.
Did
Hence his character's name, Jack
Oh.
Silva.
He narrated Born in China.
I don't even know which one that was.
It's one of those Disney nature films.
Okay, that's why you knew it.
Maybe. Whoa. Go back
What?
a second.
I just closed it.
Don't close it. He's good at his upcoming film. What's Animal Crackers?
It's
Is
like
it
an
a
animated film?
movie about
2017 American
Animal
Spanish
Crackers?
3D computer animated comedy fantasy film. Let's see.
Is it about crackers? It is. It's
It
about
is.
animal crackers coming to life.
Huntington family who
Wow, that
follows the
that's-
Huntington family whose life is turned upside down when they inherit a rundown circus and mysterious box of animal crackers.
No,
This is the
no.
worst sounding movie I've ever heard.
I don't know.
oh my
They did make the Emoji Movie. This is slightly better than that.
I
but
don't know, man. They
Is
must save
it?
the circus from
You know
being
what? You know what
taken
movie?
over
You know what movie
by
I
their
want?
uncle Horatio P. Huntington,
I thought you were gonna say Horatio Sands.
played by Horatio Sands.
And that's look at the names they've got in this.
so when
look, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Danny DeVito, Ian McKellen, Sylvester Stallone, Raven, Patrick Warburton, who is great in Lemony Snicket. I finally finished that. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Yeah, I know. And Wallace Shawn. I don't what. Oh yeah,
yeah,
Wallace Shawn. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, Ian McKellen's in it to spite Patrick
Patrick
Stewart for being in the Emoji Movie.
Hey, you did that Emoji Movie. I'll up you one. Animal
something
crackers. And there's Jonathan Frakes doing the Twizzlers movie. Brett Spider doing Reese's Pieces.
When's the Goldfish movie coming out?
Give it time. Don't give him ideas.
Gummy bears.
Don't. That's a great
I
cartoon.
can't wait to watch Lay's.
Dibs on playing taco salsa flavored chips.
Okay. Well, I don't know why I noticed that. It looks terrible.
It
Yes,
really does. I'm
yes.
glad you did.
Oh man.
So yeah, they're making a True Lies TV show.
Not in.
You
Did you watch Lethal Weapon?
No,
No.
but it got renewed somehow.
I started watching the first episode of Lethal Weapon and just started screaming, "Get the hell out of here!"
Did you just turn it off and put the DVD in?
Man, I just love that movie. And then don't do it. Like, just don't. I think more executives need to just they just need to say that to
Why?
themselves.
They're not going to.
Just
If they think they
don't.
can make money out of it. You know, honestly though, after this year, I really hope Hollywood gets it in their heads that, oh, hey, maybe people don't want to see crap movies.
Because just announced was a crap movie with Ben
Jordan-
Affleck.
And Matt Damon, they're joining up again.
That's right.
Are they janitors that just clean up the toilets? Is that?
Now I want to see it. You sold me.
All right. Well, yeah, they're making True Lies a TV show, and you know, hey, why not? While we're talking things that they're going to remake or who knows what, Jamie Lee Curtis is back for Halloween because, yeah,
Because of all
know.
that Activia, she can actually get off the toilet now.
you know, we're going to get that film in a little over a year, so you know, now we know what to look forward to in the
Wait a minute.
2018 movie series.
How many years has it been since 1998?
19.
So when this movie comes out, it would have been 20 years.
Probably.
So is she just going to come back and do a Halloween movie every 20 years?
Why not?
Because that was 20 years from the
The
other
other one.
Halloween.
Well, I
Halloween
mean, they're,
two-
if she
two
gets paid for it,
H2O?
well, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would find it
Well,
hard
they're
to turn
just-
down that kind of
They're
money
just
too.
paying
so.
her in.
I think what I
and
heard.
yogurt.
I think what I heard on this one is they're kind of going to ignore the previous Halloween movies for some reason.
all of them doesn't seem like
Let's
a
see if
good
I can.
idea.
Let's see if I can find this here.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah,
Maybe at least recognize 1 and 2.
You would think.
So
Or
it's like
just-
a
how
s-
many have there been now?
So it's like a soft reboot.
Well, there were
Maybe.
there were 7 numbered ones. I think there were 7 numbered ones, and then there was
H2O.
H2O. Then there was a sequel, Resurrection.
Let's see.
I feel like that's it.
franchise.
I feel like that's
Is it?
all of them, right?
Okay, well let's check.
Oh,
here.
and then there were the 2 Rob Zombie Halloweens,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
and that
2000
killed it for a while.
Yeah.
Did I get them all?
Yeah, it looks like
Nah,
yeah.
there's only 6. Damn, I
5,
added 1 more.
6. Well, 6, and then
Halloween
H2O.
was the curse of my.
and then
Halloween,
7.
the curse of.
Yeah, there were 7. Well,
Yeah, but I thought
yeah.
there were 7 numbered ones.
Oh, okay.
There was also the Bowels of Michael Myers, which didn't do as well.
IBS. Michael Myers.
Did you ever see 3?
Nah.
3 has no Michael Myers in it. It's about
There's a
haunted masks, Halloween masks.
Is it the one Jim Carrey was in? I really liked that one.
There's a bad pun in there with the IBS Michael Myers, and since the fact that he's wearing the William Shatner mask.
Have you seen Baby Driver yet, Dean?
I have not seen
One of
it.
my favorite jokes in that movie was when
Was the Mike Myers?
was the Mike Myers mask.
Oh,
One of the
I
one of the
did-
high,
I
one of the
heard
heist
about
guy,
that
one of the
joke.
guys doing the heist was like, "I got the Mike Myers mask," and it's Austin Powers, and the guy was like, "No, we told you to get Mike Myers. This is a Mike Myers mask. No, the movie Mike. This is Mike Myers. No, the hockey mask. Oh, you mean Jason?
That was good.
I can't wait till that movie comes out. I know it's out digitally, I think, at this point. No, Wonder Woman's out digitally and on DVD
No, yeah,
now.
the
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's actually out today.
And Baby Driver and Spider-Man Homecoming, my 2 favorite movies from this summer, coming on DVD next.
Oh,
What?
wait a minute! I didn't even think about that.
What?
The Halloween movie you're talking about
Yeah.
is the Halloween reboot that's being done by Danny McBride. Danny McBride is writing it.
Oh, whoa! Hang on, we got
One
some.
show like that could pull this whole
Hey, look at
thing.
that!
Oh my!
I love
Oh,
I love
my.
autoplay. Thank
Yes, it's becoming.
you. So hold on. So you're saying Danny McBride?
Yeah, this is the one that Danny McBride is
his,
writing.
His name was listed in the Wikipedia page for it.
Okay.
I'm actually excited for this. I think it's gonna be
No, because he was in Alien Covenant, and we all know how
Yeah,
well that turned out.
Danny
Yeah.
well, yeah, but he didn't write it. Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, like they wrote like they wrote like Pineapple Express.
Okay, and David Gordon Green, also co-creator of Eastbound and Down, which
Yeah,
was
which I
pretty
love.
funny.
Which is one of my favorite things that's ever been made.
I want to say they hold on. Let me see if I can find this here. Return. Okay, she's returning as her iconic role. I would have swore somewhere that I said
So it's got to be linked.
October 19th, 2018. There's probably some time
They
travel or
have-
But I
something.
think it's not going to be funny.
I mean, they
Like,
have to
think
forget
it's-
at least one. Didn't she die in one of the movies?
She died.
'Cause they
Did
had-
she die in 2 and then they retconned it in H2O? Maybe she made
I thought
it
she
in 2.
died in
I don't-
H2O.
I don't remember.
She definitely died in one of them.
Yeah.
If it wasn't H2O, it was the one after the Resurrection, which was
Okay.
garbage.
Let's see if anyone.
I don't mind H2O. The original's a classic, and 2's pretty good.
Let's see if we can. Let's look up Laurie Strode's character
Let's see what she
biography.
did. What'd she do? Where'd she die? Where'd she die? She died somewhere.
Wrong person. Try to move his mask.
Yeah,
Michael stabs her and throws her off to her death.
It
Resurrection.
was in Resurrection, yeah.
It was revealed that the man Laurie killed was a paramedic. Swap clothes.
Oh, yeah. I think that's when I stopped watching that one.
Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of excited about this.
Well, that makes one person.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just. Let's see here. Hold on. We just got some. Here we go. Chris messaged the page. That's why it came up weird on the thing.
Page message.
Chris was asking if anyone's stoked about Avatar.
I'm stoked about Pandora,
I was gonna say I think I'm more stoked about the
The
rides
land-
than I am
the
the.
land of. I'm too fat to get on. I'm too fat to get on.
Yeah, let's see why I did that.
That's
Why I
weird.
did
Should've done that.
Yeah, it should.
I have to admit that I'm not really looking forward to the Avatar movies. It's been too long
I
since
did-
the original for me.
I didn't like the first one that much.
I liked the first one when it was called Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
You know, I saw it and it was in 3D. 3D was really good.
The visuals were impressive, but I need more than just visuals to make it a good movie.
Fair enough. Well, let's see what else we got here in the.
What else is in the news?
Let's see in the news.
I'm surprised that I'm actually excited about that Halloween.
Let's see here.
I didn't see
Looks
that coming.
like a little store named Toys R Us could be filing for bankruptcy. Apparently, millennials killed that store too.
Aw.
I don't think they did. I think
didn't.
Walmart did.
Walmart killed it.
Walmart's
Yeah.
been killing Toys R Us with a slow
that,
death.
and, that and online sales.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
Amazon.
Honestly, I've been going to Toys R Us more in the past 5 years than I have since I was a kid.
That's something an adult should say.
He doesn't want to grow up. He wants to be a
Yeah,
Toys R Us
well,
kid.
like I mean, there's yeah, there we go.
I go.
Look at that. See the look. If the Blues Brothers drove through it, you
I
know what?
stop every once in a while. You never
That's
know
what we need
you're
to
gonna
do.
find there.
Exactly. Like they've actually they did okay.
Usually it's toys.
They started adding some of the collector stuff before the collectors things became more mainstream. I guess
They did. They have an aisle.
yeah, which I really like.
I love that. I love going down the collector's aisle.
Yeah, me too. So I'll get that.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad day because I mean I remember Toys R Us was always a big thing when I was growing up, but at this point it's cheaper to get anything there pretty much anywhere else. So
Yeah, that's not.
it doesn't help the store at all when that's
Fingers crossed. Now that they're going bankrupt, we'll get some sales that we can actually use to our advantage. But honestly, like the Playmobil stuff that I just got for the Ghostbusters, it was just as it was the same price on Amazon as it was.
I feel like
here.
that I feel like that they were forced to drop to meet with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
They'll
be fine. What was Miles was saying? They're just restructuring, right?
Yeah, I think so. They'll find some way to restructure and downsize. Maybe not.
I don't think they're gonna be fine.
But here's my question, a legit question: when the store is dead and it's empty, can we get Dan Bell back out here to go wander through the store with us?
Maybe
only if we can join them.
it's not too far.
Trust me, I've got a few. I've been scouting locations for Dan Bell. He doesn't know it yet, but I've been scouting locations for him. He's gonna be getting an email from Pop's show here soon enough.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not as optimistic as Miles. I think that he's probably he's he's right here.
I think from the financial side,
but this is the start.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna be able to recover.
I mean, they'll be around for quite a while, but I think it is the start of a downward spiral for them.
And you know what? I say that about a lot of retail. It's just the retail landscape is changing.
Yeah.
The way people that shop. I mean, I had to run over to the outlets, to the new outlets that they built, just to get some video clips. And
I've shopped at the outlets. They're nice.
It was dead.
Really?
Nobody was
Already?
there. I get it. It was a Monday afternoon.
Well, that might be why. I mean, I went on they're only half open.
Nobody.
They aren't. They've only got like half the stores open. So
Yeah, there was a lot of dead stuff. Well, I didn't see anything that I couldn't get online.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't. I don't go to stores. I used to love the mall. I'm a huge
See, I never
mall
got into
person.
mall
I love it.
person.
I used to I just love commerce. It sounds weird, but
No,
I like
I
going.
get it.
I like shopping. I like going to malls. I like browsing. I like just walking around and being amongst the people, getting a pretzel.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. I just never got into the mall.
I enjoyed it, and then all the stores I enjoyed going to closed up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I can
all
see
of a
that.
sudden Suncoast is gone.
Suncoast,
And then,
the music stores, the bookstores, all gone.
Gone. It's just a matter of time before Barnes and Noble's is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to adapt. They've always had music.
So much
But you know
cheaper
who's actually
to
trying
go
to
on
adapt?
Amazon.
Best Buy. I was in there the other day. They've got like collectible statues now you can buy, and they've got a lot of like geeky superhero merch now just to try to stay relevant. But their DVD shelves are getting smaller
Well,
and smaller,
and that's-
like their music shelves
That's
is
another
like
issue.
super
The
small.
fact that physical media is shrinking slowly. You're going to be the last of a dying breed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the Neanderthal camp because I actually like holding the physical copy.
So do I.
I like the idea of doing that much more than I do the physical space that it takes up that I just never use.
Understandable. I mean,
I love that idea.
That's my music case right there.
I'm
I
the
mean,
same way. I would love to have a physical copy, but then like in practice, I'm like, yeah, but like it's just right here and I hit a button. It's a weird thing.
It is, but when barring any technological fault on your own or the hardware's itself, this way, if my backup drive or my computer, crap out, I can just go through and take forever and re-rip my CDs.
That's true.
It's just the tangible idea of owning it. I mean,
Yeah, and that's my other
I have a
thing.
digital copy of it. Like even
No,
with,
you're not
like,
wrong.
With the comic books, like I don't remember if I have that comic book.
Yeah.
The comic books are different.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're the exact same.
I cannot get into
You can't.
reading digitally.
I have no problems reading comic books digitally. I had the
Don't like it.
the Hoopla app on my iPad. Basically, I can
Rent from the library.
Now
rent
back-
from the library.
Back when I was stealing comic books, I
Making
did
back
like to,
digital backups of the books you already
Yes,
have.
that was what I was doing.
Yes.
I did like it doing it then.
Yeah.
Because they were not expensive.
Well, obviously.
Dude,
So-
please, kids, don't steal. This is a message
This is
from
your
Pops.
PSA popped.
This is your PSA Pops.
Yeah. On the upside, I have become much more discerning in what I actually buy these
Yeah,
days.
it has.
So
Kind of curbed my purchasing. And to be fair, Netflix has, I mean, I've said it before, Netflix curbed my purchasing. I was at Best Buy as often as I'm at the comic shop now. So, it did help with that. I'm not going to buy Everybody Wants Some. I can just watch it on Amazon Prime now.
Send it back.
I haven't watched it yet.
Just send it. It doesn't matter. It's on Hulu and Netflix.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I went to check my mail the other day. It was just in my mailbox. Like, you
I totally
can see
remember
that movie.
ordering
Yeah.
it.
You can see that movie.
I don't even know what's left of my. Let's see if
it
I
was
can pull
just
up.
playing on the back of my house.
They're gonna be playing it at Narrow Movie as one of the throwback movies now.
Did you know that Narrow is listed as a Movie Pass theater?
Is it
Really?
Was shocked.
That's another temptation to get that service now.
I have still not received my card.
I heard it takes a long time to
I-
be getting them.
I
'cause they're-
went to
they're
u-
so backlogged.
I wanted to go use it for it,
Oh, hey, the
and
Jerry
I was like,
Seinfeld
"Cool,
thing's on.
I can use AMC was an e-ticket," and I go to do the e-ticket, and it pops up and says, "Put the last 4 digits of your card in." And I wanted to throw my phone through a window. So I will be a month in without being able to go see it. I'm just spending $10 this month for nothing.
All right, so let's see if
So
I
I'm
can.
not happy yet.
Let's throw up something here.
Gang signs.
Browser. This is how I do it. Is that the browser source, Matt? Is that?
I'm sorry, is Popstar
Because I was gonna pull up my Netflix queue.
Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping is on your list. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure that's on HBO Go.
Well,
The
I've got-
Revenant, I
oh,
know, is on HBO Go.
Well, and I've bought Hell or High Water since.
Hell or High Water. The Martian is definitely on HBO Go.
Yeah.
Now You See Me Too, HBO Go. The Adjustment Bureau isn't even in print anymore. That's how old that is. Creed is on Hulu. The Monster Squad is on Netflix.
Okay, well, Hulu can't allow me to download things offline. So, and yes,
Why would you ever be offline?
There are certain locations that I frequent 40+ hours a week that do not have Wi-Fi
Frequency is 20 years old. Why would you even bother?
because they rebooted it as a TV show, and I wanted to see if the movie was as bad as I remember it.
Well, at least you got Masterpiece Contemporary, Lennon Naked. If
Yep.
you just want to see what Lennon looks like naked.
You can take Cloud Atlas off. That's not even worth watching.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower is good.
Hold on, let's throw this up here
Cyrus-
for everybody here.
These are movies that
You can take that Abomination Transformers movie off that list right now.
but it's got my favorite. It's got my favorite line. Is that the Transformers? The last, not the last one. The one where he's like, "Bring me my alien gun." It's my
Your
favorite
alien.
line of anything. It looks like you went in. You're probably just giving out your account info.
What? I don't think it's giving out anything.
No, it's not.
You hope.
It's not.
There we go.
I just want to point out that everything that you've got on your list, it looks like you might have put that on
15
your
years
list
ago?
back in 2009.
I might have.
All of these
honestly.
movies are from
When
2009.
did streaming become a main thing? Yeah, there we go.
We're at least a good 5 years in.
We gotta be.
No, because Hulu was 2008, 2009. We're almost 10. Hulu was almost 10 years old.
Money Monster, Annie Hall.
The Big
For the
Short.
love
These
of-
are all movies you
Wait, for
could
the
get.
love of,
Steve
oh wait,
Jobs
no, for
is
the
on
love of
HBO.
Spock, I watched that already.
Of course.
I think Big Short's in the thing. There.
Steve Jobs is on
Why,
HBO.
why did I even add Blood? Oh, the Blood Father. You know what? We're gonna bump that up the top of the list right there.
No, you need to keep.
Why can't I? Why won't this bump up?
Because it's so old, it's not in stock anymore.
Move to top. There
Look
we
at
go.
this. Some of these are so old that
Star
you
Trek
got them
Beyond.
on
I finally
DVD.
watched. I watched that already. I don't know. Some of these looked good.
Benny and
Secret
June not
Life of
even
Dragon.
on
Wow.
Blu-ray. Moonlight is on Hulu. Whiplash is streaming.
Citizen Kane has a very long wait.
Citizen.
You know the sad thing is we actually
Yeah,
had the Citizen Kane
apparently
DVD
almost 100 years.
here. Isn't Isn't Split on HBO Go now or something?
I'm
I think it's
pretty.
on
I'm
HBO.
pretty sure that any movie that's on this
what's
list
I
that you
think it's
still
Wa-
want to
I think
watch
s-
is streaming somewhere.
I think Split is
Let's
Warner
see.
Brothers, so if it's not on there yet, it will be in the next few months.
Yeah, I thought I saw it. And then, so obviously I got to watch Unbreakable.
I hate that everybody ruined the twist of Split.
What twist?
You just
you know.
I don't know what you guys are
go
talking
back up
about.
to the top. Go back up
We're
to the
going
top.
up.
It wasn't as such a twist that
Actually, no, I'm going to leave
Put
this at the
the
top.
Kingsman is important that you watch
Yes,
that
first. There we
because
go.
you got a sequel coming out and you're going to see it.
Yeah. All right.
I've declared.
I'm gonna go ahead and get everybody wants some.
Have you not seen The Martian?
No.
really.
When
But you'd
when
love
have I
it.
had time?
I've seen it.
I
How can I have time to watch it and you
because
haven't?
you're not doing this every week. I am.
You would love The Martian.
I'm sure I would.
Pop star never stopping you. Take off.
I think I put that up there because you suggested it.
Because there was a joke in there that was there was a joke in there that was like one of my favorite jokes that I can't believe anybody's ever made. Never made. I feel like I put too many nevers. There's a joke where at one point he's going up and he was like, it's a negative review, and he was like, oh, it's okay, he's like, no, it's like a -3. It's a fantastic joke. I can't believe nobody's ever used that before.
See, Sarah said it's her fault. She won't watch the spiritual sequel with me. She said spiritual, but she means spiritual secret or sequel.
Ooh, the spiritual secret.
Spiritual sequel.
And that spiritual
There we
secret,
go.
Jesus.
Blah. Oh man. Okay, let's wrap up some of this news. 'Cause,
Oh my
We're
gosh.
still on news. Is
yeah,
that-
we're still on news. Let's go with some sad news real quick,
Oh.
and then we'll bring it back to. We'll try to tie it into our the next news bit to our topic. Harry Dean Stanton died.
Well, rest in peace. We don't have time. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Did you mention Len Wein? I can't remember when he passed away recently.
No.
Len, the person who created Wolverine.
Oh, I think that was last week, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Last week.
Yeah, that was last week, and I wasn't here last week, so.
So we didn't do it.
There you go. So, but yeah, you guys have probably seen him in all sorts of stuff. Big Love, Pretty in Pink,
Alien.
Yeah.
Alien, Avengers.
3 minutes of Avengers.
Yeah,
Just out of
There's a
nowhere.
critical role.
watching a naked Mark Ruffalo. I mean, he does.
It's true.
So,
Different movie though. That was watching naked Mark Ruffalo.
did you guys watch that Thor '80s trailer?
I did.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that is. You need to watch it, Dean. It's it was on Popped probably about 11 o'clock today. 11 o'clock this morning, and it's like they take bits from the trailer, and the beautiful thing they did that I thought was hilarious was they brought in Lou Ferrigno's Hulk for all the Hulk cut-in scenes, and they started lighting up some of the other scenes with like these Tron like animations, and it was whoever did it took the time and they did it right.
like blue screen, like not even green screen stuff. It looked like blue screen.
Yeah, like it, like they made it look
You could tell-
particularly 80s
yeah.
bad. It was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
That was good. One thing that we didn't touch on. Did you guys see that that Star Trek Discovery not going to be?
Oh, that's right.
The reviewers are not going to.
Yeah.
TV reviewers not going to be able to see it ahead of time.
Yeah, I was going to use that to tie into the topic, but
Oh, yeah,
if you
no,
want to
this
jump
was
it.
the seg.
Yeah, but Chris wanted to know about Mother. We were going to talk about Mother and It.
Let's go ahead and finish it up real quick then.
Oh, forget what I just said. We'll come back.
All right.
I thought Harry Dean Stanton was our last one.
It was going to be, but Chris did ask about It and Mother. Well, he asked about Mother, and It destroyed it in the box office.
Glenn Danzig has nothing to do with this.
Glenn Dancing?
Glenn Danzig.
Glenn Dancing?
Forget it.
Tony Danza?
It's a terrible joke. It's a terrible Danzig.
How I Met Your Mother?
The terrible Danzig joke that I bobbled.
Yeah, that's what we're all about here.
Because that's all I think
Popped,
about.
full of bobble jokes.
When that's our bobbleheads we'll be selling, just bobble jokes. No, every time I hear the name of this movie, I just think about the Danzig
Mother?
song,
Mother or It?
Mother.
He
He didn't have a big hit called It.
might have. So yeah,
You guys don't know the The
name?
Danzig
The name?
song?
I know Danzig. I don't know anything that they do.
What's his name? This is a big song.
Okay, I'll
Mother.
take your word for it.
Everybody wanted him to be
Mother,
I
there
re-
is no
there-
other.
No, that was almost it. That was almost it. That was close.
No, that was Mr. T's.
That was Mr. T, though. Did you say Mr. T's?
Yes. No, I said Dr. T.
Well,
It's Mr. T hanging out with the Muppets.
oh. Off the
But yeah,
rails.
so
We're gonna do this little bit.
Yes,
here
let's
at
do
some
this
point,
bit
right?
and let's get back to CBS. It killed Mother at the box office. People don't know what Mother's about.
people that have seen it.
Yeah, people that have seen it don't know what Mother's about.
Does
so
Darren Aronofsky know what it's about?
he said
a
he does.
liar.
I don't know if he does know.
He's a
So
liar.
um,
He was probably just trying to figure out. Never mind. I was going
Probably
to
better-
reference.
yeah,
I was
probably
going to
not-
reference a
just-
scene from.
probably better not. To at
Not
this
not that
point.
I've seen it. From what I've heard, the marketing does not do the movie any favors. For one,
Okay.
because it tries to bill it as like a spiritual sequel to Rosemary's Baby. Like all the
Ah.
Is
movie
it-
posters are trying to hint at that. The trailers I saw before it are trying to make it as this like the greatest horror, like the scariest horror film you'll ever see. So
Okay.
go and see it now. But
Is
I mean,
it just me, or I still have never seen a trailer? Like I didn't.
No, I've seen a trailer just because it's been on
Yeah.
Popped.
I-
Hey,
but-
was
yeah.
there much marketing at all for this thing?
No, I mean the only trailer I saw for it was before it when they showed they just dumped all the
You
horror
know what I-
trailers.
you know
there.
what I'm-
they
here's
pushed
what I'm
hard the
gonna think.
past 2 weeks about this thing, but that's about
You're,
all I've
you're
heard of
thinking
it.
this is a Darren Aronofsky film.
Correct.
Traditionally, his films. I mean, Black Swan won
Yeah.
a lot of awards a few years ago. This seems like it should be a movie that they would have put a little bit of push behind. And the fact that they didn't, they only seem to have put a little bit of push behind it.
Was there a big push for Black Swan though? Because I don't remember.
Yeah,
Was there? I don't remember
Well,
there being a lot
it
of
was at
marketing
least
for
on my.
Black.
It was at least on my radar.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not
So
completely.
relative to you, it
think,
wasn't on.
Think of it this way: how many articles on Popped did you share before it came out?
for Mother.
Yeah.
One with the trailer. That was it.
And
Well,
that was like
That was
feel
like 2
that
weeks
was
ago.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
they
what I'm
didn't
saying.
even
Like,
drop a trailer.
like 2 weeks, before this movie got released this past week, and that's all I'd heard about
You
it.
guys think they knew they had a piece of garbage?
It's possible.
I'm sure someone did.
Because it's September. They snuck it in second weekend of a movie they knew was going to be huge. I think
Did
they tried
they?
to bury this.
Did they? I don't think anyone expected it to be that big of a. I mean, they expected
Did
it.
you I expected
They
it to be.
they expected it.
the word
Okay,
of mouth.
let me rephrase it. The word of mouth got better as it got closer. Like
It
because
got bigger. I
it
think
got
it
bigger.
was
That's what I'm saying.
always. I think it always. It has had a buzz.
Yeah.
It
Um,
has.
Since
Okay.
they started releasing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading about the movie version of it for a while. How it was, going to be developed at this point, and then it was this director, and then he dropped out, and so there's been a lot of build up to it that you haven't seen on a lot of the main sites. But I think the successful marketing campaign for it started with that very first trailer they put out, which was absolutely phenomenal, and it
Yeah.
completely
Okay.
it completely energized everyone.
Well, they
to see
definitely
it.
marketed it
Yeah.
a lot more and a lot better. I think that's what you guys talked about last week, wasn't it? Some of the marketing. And
Yeah. It sounds
So-
like Mother is probably a movie that number one isn't going to be it's not a mainstream. It's a film. Like it's a film. It's obviously like you said. It's all about symbols and so more than likely I feel like this is going to be like almost like a Tree of Life kind of. I have a feeling that it's going to end up getting it'll end up finding a following once people can watch it at home and then kind of dissect it or it's just a piece of garbage.
Well, Alex was saying it was. Alex said it was surprisingly good. I'm assuming he means it, the movie, not it as in Mother. Just so we're clarifying here. Way better than he was expecting. Which Dean, you loved it. Matt,
I liked it.
yeah, enjoyed it. But he said Mother looks like it could be a masterpiece. I don't have any.
I will say this: a lot of my film friends, a lot of friends who like films,
Yeah,
don't like this.
really. A lot of your film nerds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of bad word of mouth.
It's
And from people
yeah.
who would usually be all over a pretentious piece of garbage.
I mean, it does seem to be fairly divisive. It's either someone likes it or someone doesn't. They just absolutely
Yeah.
do not like it at all.
Okay.
And
There's
from
no
what
middle
I've seen,
ground.
people have either not liked it, like viciously hated it, or they're lying.
Okay. Well,
I haven't seen it.
Alex, when you watch it,
I'm just
get
being
back to
mean.
us. Let us know what you think, because I don't think any of the three of us are going to go see it at this point. I might try to see it this weekend. I think I'm the only one of the three of us. I am the
I
only
may
one of the
sneak
three.
in
of
and
us.
go see Mother.
Okay. Well, if you do, let me know.
Darren Aronofsky's nothing if not interesting, even if it's stuff that I don't like.
Yeah.
He's at least interesting.
Black Swan was okay.
Black Swan's okay.
I can't say that I enjoyed it, but it was interesting to watch.
Like, I don't think. I mean, was there anyone that enjoyed? Why is it? The movie
Then,
Jennifer
Wait a minute.
Connelly, drugs.
A Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, is there anybody that actually enjoyed watching it? Like, I don't feel like that's a movie that you. I feel
I
like
watched
that's a
it
movie
once and
experience.
enjoyed it.
Pie. Even Pie, I'm not like,
I've
man.
actually- those are the two I've got on DVD in my closet.
Pie's
I
a
really
great
loved them in
movie.
college.
Pie's a great movie, but I don't see you sitting down like, hey, I'm going to sit down and watch Pie.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's valid. I can't argue that.
I think if anything, I think his most mainstream movie is probably The Wrestler.
Okay.
I wish he would have stayed on Batman. I would have loved to.
Which Batman was he going to be on?
He was. I think he was taking. He was going to do it before Christopher Nolan came in. He was.
Okay.
He was tied to the Batman for a long time,
Gotcha.
and it didn't. He was going to. I think he would have made something interesting. That would have
Okay.
been. I mean, but then again, we got The Dark Knight, so.
Well, and the last bit of news, as you alluded to earlier, Matthew, was CBS is not
now
letting.
it's time.
Yes,
Yeah.
now it's time.
Now it's
you
seg time.
There we go. CBS is not letting critics review Star Trek Discovery before its release and discuss.
Garbage.
I mean,
I don't think
it's never good when they won't let you review something before it comes out.
Very true.
This could be disastrous for
Yeah.
CBS because this. I mean, they've got an app. They've got They've got a very expensive app. It's $5 if you for just CBS content. It's $5 with commercials, and of course, I got to pay $10 because I don't want to watch their commercials because they overdo it with commercials, and their app is so bad that it would just fail halfway through all the commercials. So I was like, I have to spend $10. If this comes out, I mean, this is what they're tying. This is what they've been tying. I mean, they've got to get this thing out. It's been pushed and pushed and pushed. And this is what I think a lot of the success of their app is going to rely on this. So if it comes out and nobody likes it.
The whole reason why they've been making it exclusive to the app is to push the whole system.
Exactly.
So
if it comes out and people have to spend a minimum of $5 to watch it with ads, and then it's not good. I mean, I don't think all of the trailers I've seen, they don't look bad, but then again, I don't like Trek.
I enjoy Trek, but I haven't made it a point to like sit down and absorb myself.
If it's not the next
yeah.
generation, I don't care.
The trailers for it look pretty. However, I'm a big Trek fan, and I've been following the development of this series since they first announced it. Went back when it was Brian Fuller is doing it.
You even wrote a review on PopShow.com.
I feel bad for Brian Fuller. Does he get kicked off of every single show?
Well, he's on American Gods.
Did he?
Yeah,
did he
when
go do that?
He was developing American Gods at the same time he was trying to do Star Trek Discovery.
And then he realized that was a dumpster fire.
Well,
jumped ship.
For everything. I mean, I've been reading some of the behind the scenes stuff, watching podcasts and stuff like that. This ideas that he wanted to do, I don't think the studio wanted to go with. So it was that whole who has control of it, because Paramount's always been really they have not handled Star Trek well for a long time.
No.
They've been very possessive of it.
They had those Rick Berman years that seemed like they weren't great.
Berman, Braga.
They seemed terrible.
Yeah, they're not good.
Success was so strong after. I mean, Next Generation is such a strong show. I think it's one of probably TV's best shows ever made.
Next Generation was strong. Deep Space Nine was strong. By the time they got to Voyager, it really was a time where they should have let the series go into hiatus for a while. Because after watching Deep Space Nine and the Next Generation, and Voyager came in right after that, it's like every episode of Voyager, I've seen this plot line already.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, this one they did this in the Next Generation, but they did it better. And this one is like, oh, they did this one in the original series, but they did it better. So Voyager was kind of doomed, especially because the whole premise of Voyager was that it was like this ship of Federation and like rebel terrorist type fighters stranded in a ship. 70 light years. So it's going to take them 70 years to get home. How did they react to it? And then they all of a sudden became, instead of allowing the show to rely on the conflict between the two groups, everyone became this big happy family practically, and it was just the same as every other Star Trek show at that point. Yeah, when Brian Fuller dropped out of this one, how long it took to get from when they started development to they said they were going to be, the show was going to be on the air at this certain date, and they heard nothing about it, and the dates just kept getting pushed back. The fact that it was tied to the streaming app, nothing about the show has inspired a lot of confidence for me at all. They said it was going to take place 10 years before the original series. But when they use everything in the trailer, nothing of it gives you any hint that it's actually tied to the original series. It's more like it's a prequel to the movies, the rebooted movies, which I don't want to see anyway.
I like those. They're like Star Wars.
Yeah, they're more Star Wars than Star Trek. Which
sucks. I make jokes about that, but it really sucks that. Not that it sucks that it happened that way, but Star Trek always had a different kind of feel.
Yeah.
And it was always, I always thought of it as more of, like the thinking man's kind of sci-fi.
It was the way I always broke it down, because I do enjoy both franchises, is that Star Trek was the science fiction and Star Wars was the science fantasy.
Yeah.
So which is why I could enjoy both of them. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it was on the CBS app, it was already a deal breaker for me there.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good the show was at that point, I still wasn't going to watch it because I refused to pay for another streaming service. But I mean, it looks pretty, but I think it's going to be too expensive, and unfortunately, it sounds like no one's going to enjoy it either.
It's just too bad.
Yeah,
it seems like they definitely know it's a problem. They're like, we see how they just stealth released this mother. Yeah. Let's see if we can slide this one under the door.
Well, you guys heard that there might have been a little minor spoiler coming out that Jonathan Frakes released about a panel recently. Did you hear about this? If you've heard about it, I'm not okay. So I'm not going to spoil it for you.
No, you're not spoiling.
Anybody who I know you don't care. Exactly. So spoilers. Turn down for like 30 seconds, real quick. Jonathan Frakes revealed that they're actually going to visit the mirror universe in Star Trek Discovery.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing for that. They're making all the news articles making it sound like it's this big major spoiler that Jonathan Frakes has released. However, they've already done the mirror. I mean, they did the original Mirrorverse in the original series for one episode with the Spock with the goatee, which was awesome.
And everybody loves it.
Everyone loved it. So they did it in Deep Space Nine at least twice, I think.
Okay.
And then they didn't. I don't think they did it in Voyager, but they did it in Enterprise again. Like there was a whole
Really?
arc. There's a whole arc in Star Trek Enterprise where they were in the mirror universe. So it's like it's not the biggest surprise that they're going to that well again. It really is. Like I said, like with Voyager, every episode I watched, this plot line's been done before and it's been done better.
Okay.
So
I know I've brought this up before, but I think we're definitely in the era of the studios protecting their franchises and calling the shots. So, and I think we talked probably a little more in depth of last week. I don't think that these franchises are going to let these directors and these showrunners come in and have free reign with this stuff anymore.
Well, and
I think they're calling the shots.
It's worked for Star Wars so far.
It hasn't.
But we don't know what we're missing out on.
It has where we're getting
know?
exactly. We're getting decent Star Wars. We're not getting the prequels,
right?
Or we're not getting Phantom Menace. But at the same time,
still decent.
We're not getting the full expanded universe. Where they can go off and tell interesting stories that use, like all of the imagery and the stormtroopers and things like that and the canon.
Now, to be fair, Star Wars is respecting that expanded universe, and they are pulling from it to bring into their stuff how they want to bring it in. And it's not
But I would like to see some sort of like noir style Star Wars movie or just
and I don't know if you guys saw the comment Alex just threw up. He said he hopes the new Trek is good, which we all do. We don't want it to be bad.
Nobody wants things to be bad.
No, we like this stuff. This is why we do a podcast or show every week. We want this stuff to be good because it's franchises we care about.
I think we're a little more positive than
we try to
some
be.
people.
I don't want to be negative. I mean, we try to. I mean, we'll make jokes, but we ultimately we want things to be good. We want to enjoy it. We want to throw our money. We want to throw our money at things.
Yeah,
obviously,
There's
enough
negativity.
Even Alex, exactly, and that's the main thing. But I mean, even Alex said it looks underwhelming to him. It's like a mist, and he brought up a good thing or a good idea. What if Star Trek meets Game of Thrones? They're like riding on space dragons, and
didn't they try this with the Wizard of Oz?
Did they?
franchise where it met. Where
I
it
feel like
met-
they've tried it a couple of
where it met
times.
Game of Thrones. There was a series called Oz that just had like one
I
season.
thought that was about
Sure.
the prison.
No, but there was a.
That
I
one.
mean,
Is that on your list?
I probably have the
Great.
name wrong, but I think there was a.
I think
there
you're
was
right.
a one season.
Yeah,
that
they
didn't do very
did.
well.
It was recent.
Adebisi
too.
was there, and there
But,
was.
but yeah, I agree that
guy in a
the
wheelchair.
studios are not going to allow these franchises to experiment against something that's been proven to make them money. Once they start failing at making money,
Yeah,
you'll probably
maybe.
see a lot of that. But
I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, not that I don't like. I'm happy. I'm happy with the Star Wars franchise. Obviously, I think I love 7. I really like Rogue One a lot. But do
Yeah.
I want to see something that's interesting? Do I want to see a Darren Aronofsky go in? You know, a real filmmaker. Not that they're not all real filmmakers.
A filmmaker's filmmaker.
Somebody that's not afraid to go for it. You know,
Yeah.
that's going to give interesting concepts and ideas, and aren't going to just recycle, you know, things and themes that they've seen before. You know, that we'll
Yeah.
see something different.
They're willing to take it. Excuse me. Oh, they're willing to make a jump and try something new.
and I mean, for a while, it looked like Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy was willing to go there. But I mean, it seems like anyone that had their own
It's-
opinion is gone.
it's not a Star Wars movie unless they've lost the two directors.
And then there's the rumor about, you know,
Trevor.
Gareth Edwards being kind of
Yeah.
not necessarily, that may not have been his cut, and his cut was way, way darker, and they kind of came
wish
in
we
and
could've seen that
muddled
cut.
with it. If it's even true, who even knows anymore?
I mean,
Yeah,
Rogue One
that's-
was probably one of my top Star Wars films anyway, so I can't complain. But so much.
It's all right.
We'll have to. I mean, I'll have to wait until Episode 8 comes out and the Han Solo movie comes out to see if Lucasfilm is actually making the correct decisions on these movies.
yeah, we'll see.
I like Alex's comment. The new Star Wars movies actually make him appreciate the prequels in hindsight. Don't get them wrong; they suck, but at least they're the product of an artist's singular vision. The new ones feel so much like safe, calculated corporate products that it turns him off. They can only ever be good, but will never be great. He's not wrong.
I've been saying that about the prequels for years.
I love Star Wars more than anything.
The prequels
He's not wrong.
had good ideas; they were just executed horribly. We had a lot of good stuff in the prequels.
He's right.
It's just,
It was
a rehash of
And
episode
I
7
think-
was a rehash of episode 4.
I think there's even a quote. I think George Lucas was even kind of quoted that they made the safe movie, but that it wasn't the movie that he would ever be interested in doing.
To be fair, though, for episode 7, and in defense of it, they had to bring in a new generation. And I mean, it was a good way of.
I love 7.
So do I. It's
love it.
it's a fun movie. It's a transitional movie. It brings up the new characters. It gives the current generation a new Han,
Hey,
Luke, and Leia.
it's safe.
And
It's safe as hell, and I
It's
get that. But
Incredibly
you know what?
safe.
I was entertained.
But I hope because they've established their safe film now, what I've been hearing
We'll
about
see.
Ryan Johnson in The Last Jedi,
we'll see.
I really hope
I
we
love
get
Ryan
something.
Johnson. Have you ever read? Have you ever watched? Have you ever seen Brick?
Parts of it, yeah.
Brick is a
I need to
fantastic
keep
movie.
watching full.
And Looper, even Looper was good.
Oh, I love Looper.
Brothers Bloom. He makes good movies.
Yeah, Looper's one of my
He
favorites.
makes movies I like.
Yeah.
Um,
I watched a video about parts of the stuff he did with Brick. I think it was the movie about, or the little short film
It's
about punching within Brick, and how he did punching, and like how he shot it differently than
Yeah.
how we normally see punches in movies, and I thought that was really cool. So
it's weird. It's an absolute noir set in high school.
I love JGL. He's one of my favorites.
And yeah, you'll like Brick.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would
should
have
watch it
I would have
all
liked
the
to
way
have
through.
seen Ryan Johnson probably do episode 9 more so than J.J. Abrams. I've seen enough J.J. Abrams films. I've seen enough J.J. Abrams Star Wars
tough.
films.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough though.
yeah.
I can imagine not wanting to go right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if it's especially if it was his decision, I can't do anything but support that.
That'd be
Right.
what, like at least 4 or 5 years of
Yeah.
just.
Lots of money. Yeah. Let me feel bad for
It's
him.
lots of money. yeah. But I mean, it's
Well,
creatively, it's hard to work on
two,
one thing.
Two Avengers movies broke Joss Whedon, and now he's not a feminist anymore.
It just makes
That's
me
a whole
sad.
other.
He threw a
It's almost
shield
sad.
at a woman.
He did. All right, All right.
I'm just kidding. It was a
Seriously.
Really?
Seriously. I'm gonna go back through and edit that now. And all the other horrible things we've said tonight.
please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna edit it now. Let's be honest.
This isn't going out to anybody.
All right.
You can't have a bunch of guys on it.
It's true. This is why we have Sarah. She balances us out.
Plus, honestly, that would have been nearly as funny if we weren't clean.
It's true. So I will give you that.
Sometimes
So,
you got to break.
Anyways, we got about another half an hour before we got to wrap it up for the evening.
So you said something about critics.
yes, CBS isn't letting their critics, letting critics review their stuff.
And
But-
good. Death to all
but
critics.
Do
What?
we need critics anymore? Seriously? Do we need critics anymore? In the days of, I can go to 20 different pop culture websites right now. They can go to popshow.com, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
You know
You
what?
should definitely go there. Rotten Tomatoes. You can go to all sorts of film critics.
I have a very. I can answer this very easily.
Okay.
As far as
Well,
how I
stretch
feel.
it out. We got 30 minutes to make show.
Yes and no. No.
Tell me
No,
more.
we don't need more critics. We don't need any critics. What we need is well thought out film criticism.
Okay.
And the two things aren't the same.
I'll give you that.
We have a lot of people spouting opinions that aren't
easy to
backed
now.
up. It is. You just go on, you've got a blog, you spout a bunch of opinions. There's a lot of people going in
Popshow.com.
and spouting opinion, but nobody backs up their opinions anymore with well thought out points and actually going through the film
Like
and,
technique and artistic criticism.
exactly. It just seems like a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of critics.
I didn't
online
like the
that
movie
go
'cause it
like,
was
I didn't
bad."
like that because that didn't suck.
Yeah.
But nobody backs up.
Oh,
their
hey.
opinions. It's true,
What?
Matt. It's true, past Matt.
Time loop. We got caught in a time loop. Sorry, guys.
Past Matt
Timey-wimey
is
stuff.
absolutely correct. I love reading film criticism and analysis.
Right.
I get so mad when I watch. I'll tell you what my biggest weakness is. Keith is just sweating. I can actually see a piece of sweat.
Now I know it's like with being Sarah.
I love reading well-formed opinions backed up by facts,
Yeah.
or even opinions of facts. But you just don't get it anymore. It's infuriating reading a nothing review that just says I don't like this. This sucks, and then you don't like that's what I'm going away with. Like, why didn't you like it?
Alex agrees with
I
it.
don't like it because the writing sucks. What? That's not backing up. Why does the
I don't
writing
like
suck?
Iron Fist because he's a whiny white boy.
You get a lot of that. Well, tell me in context of what you saw,
Right.
and break it down. What is it about the script that you don't think worked? What is it that you think about the cinematography that doesn't work? What points? What did you like? Were there things that you do like? And there are people that go in. I mean, there's people that go well. I mean, Dean's stuff. It's not bad. Dean never goes in and says this sucks.
It's all right. I'm not the best writer.
But
I
you
don't
know,
get
But
it-
your
at
writing
least-
has gotten,
yeah.
I mean, from where you started to where you are now writing for popshow.com, has gotten incredibly good.
Yeah,
And
you
you
also-
are breaking it down.
You
And that's
also don't go in and just say this sucks. I mean, there are
Right,
literally
exactly.
critics that will go in. I'll tell you who bugs the crap out of me. There's a critic. I forget what paper he's with. Armand White. He seems to just be playing anything that people love. He gives a negative review to. He gave He's the one who gave Toy Story 3 a negative review.
That was a horrible movie. Sorry, I can't say it with a straight eye try.
How do you give a Toy Story film a bad review?
By not looking at it for what it is,
Maybe.
and don't get me wrong, I think critics serve. I mean, Alex chimed in. He said critics are a waste of time, generally speaking. People who actually write real film analysis are where it's at, and that's based. I mean, it's echoing what you said. But to be fair, though, I mean, I think the opinion is also good because I like reading Dean's stuff. I respect his opinion, and if he's watched. I mean, because we've said on numerous hours of this show, there is just too much stuff for us to watch.
Sure.
So I've got to divvy up my time properly. If I want to watch, if I'm on the fence about Star Trek Discovery, for example, I'm going to read Dean's review of it because he's taking the time. He loves Trek.
Sure.
I respect his opinion. I know what he's putting into it. So I'll read his. I'll read Miles. Miles was I hadn't put the effort into Watch American Vandal yet. It was on my list, but Miles wrote a really good article on avclub.com, not popshow.com. popshow.com. And I was like, okay, I need to watch American Vandal now.
Well,
you know?
and Miles will also dig into specific
yeah,
segments.
He'll break it
and
down
then
and
break
analyze
it
it.
down
Yeah.
and analyze parts within the whole. Like the article he did on skipping.
the TV themes.
The TV
yeah, that was
themes.
another good one too.
I think that there's always a case for that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is here because I definitely also want to hear opinions, but I think critics in particular, it's all about if you want to just know opinions, what people thought about the film, figure out who is giving an opinion that kind of lines up to what you enjoy, and then follow that opinion. But let's not.
And on the flip side, you might also have someone you have the exact opposite taste of. So you're like, oh, if critic ABC hates this movie, I'm gonna love it.
I think it came down. I think it's like I feel like ever since like Siskel and Ebert kind of came in and popularized like pop criticism, where there's not a lot of analysis. It's just kind of a fluff, thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, that's kind of a crappy way to rate a movie.
It is, but
It's hard to go in and say this movie is okay, this movie is not okay.
yeah.
Like, where's the line? Like, there's a lot of movies that are right.
But they
in the
also
middle.
broke it down on their show though too. I mean, that was the thumb up,
Kind
thumbs
of.
down was. I mean, kind of, but
Kind of. They just kind of fought.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And then
also
one of
what
them-
made for good TV. They
one of
knew
them
how to
kind of
market
dropped.
it. Yeah, and I think they helped make film criticism and reviewing things a little more mainstream. Brought it to the
Maybe that's the problem.
It brought it mainstream, but then the internet, like everything,
That's true.
gave everybody an easy access. And actually we
It's
had
the
a
rise of citizen journalism.
yeah, and we had a response actually to I was tweeting at twitter.com/popshow. Emmett Initiative said, he thinks they're not sending out screeners not because about criticism, but they want the internet to be spoiler free. Because you have people.
We'll see. It's a
Yeah.
valid. It's a valid.
It's not. I mean, he can't be wrong.
It's a
I
valid
think-
thought.
I mean, I think it has some validity to it, but
If I had,
I think-
it's not a bad comment. I agree that it is possible that, but I'm going to play the odds.
Yeah.
And think,
Well, yes.
assume that if they're not screening it, then it's because don't have enough confidence in it.
because there
I
are
don't
critics
see
out
what
there
kind of
that will
spoilers would be
actually
in the first-
review things and not based. I mean, they will give you a spoil, and that's the thing. In this age of content, I have seen websites that we will repost on Popped, but like they'll have, okay, yeah, here's your spoiler free review, and we'll let you know what we think about it. But here's your spoilery review.
I feel like that will hold up way better if there's actually something in the first episode to be spoiled.
yeah.
If we get a first episode and it's just an introductory to these characters and stuff, then it's hard to say that that's the reason.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that studios and people know what they've got. Like
Yeah.
even
And if you
like
want to show it,
Ghostbusters
it off,
last year, I feel like that they knew that they didn't have a surefire hit, just because look at how much press junkets those girls did and the original guys did.
yeah, but look how much. Well, not press junket, but look how much marketing they did for it, and it was a big seller.
Yeah, but I don't feel like they did a lot of hard marketing. I feel like they did.
They didn't do a lot of
social
press
media and stuff,
circuits, but
and it was a lot of word of mouth that got that one out.
maybe. But they did some good marketing on that one, though. They did plenty of marketing.
Yeah, but it was a lot of grassroots stuff.
Yeah.
It was a lot of social
I
stuff.
can see that.
I mean, I enjoy reading movie reviews. Any movie, especially movies I'm interested in going to see, as it comes out, I'll go to every website I know and read all the reviews there. I don't know if I've ever had a review influence me into actually not going to see a movie that I was excited
Yeah.
for. And
with Dean on that
the
one.
same thing with, there's that phrase out there, everyone's a critic. And in this day and age with the internet, it's never been more true than it is now. And it's basically the same thing with we're going to go there, but political commentary.
Yeah.
You go and read the sites that you're going to agree with for the most part. Where you only hang the way you hang out with people that actually have the same ideas and opinions that you do anyway.
Yep.
So how much those reviews are actually going to influence anybody that they're out there, I don't know. Like I said, I enjoyed hearing people's opinions, but usually after I read it, I come out of it with either yeah, you're right, or no, you're wrong, and I'm gonna go see it anyway.
And see, I think a true film critic, someone who's actually gonna review something and be, they might give an opinion, and I might say, okay, well, you didn't like that, but that's something that I might enjoy.
Yeah.
But they'll say, hey, I didn't like this for this reason, but I also liked it for this reason too.
Okay.
So then they'll break it down, and I think a proper film, TV critic, hell, even comic books, video games.
On a different, this is kind of a different level.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it to a different place.
Okay.
Are we living in a time now though where the critic, the way that critical pieces, like, okay, so it used to be, before a movie comes out on that Friday, that Thursday, whenever, in the paper you would have your
Local
reviews. Entertainment Weekly would have the weekly
The National. All right.
Sure. And you would go and you would read reviews and you'd be like, okay, this is something I want to see. This is something I don't want to see. This sounds terrible. Do you think that social outlets have replaced that type of criticism now? Because a lot of times
All the way.
you get a lot of pieces afterwards, like, oh, I'm reading a lot of reviews now after the fact. I feel like that the use of the old kind of reviews, of the reviews actually influencing what you saw and what you didn't see. I feel like that is something that social has taken the place of, because you've already cultivated and surrounded yourself with people, for the most part, that and you know their opinions, and you read their opinions every day, so if they kind of line up with your thinking. So when the word of mouth now comes out, or they because now everybody's going to the Thursday preview nights, and everyone's hitting all the big stuff then. So then you're instantly barraged on Thursday night, Friday morning with all of these people's opinions of oh, I saw this and it was awesome, and so you get kind of your own consensus from people that you actually know. So instead of having to go and use criticism and reviews to decide what you're going to see that weekend, you're just using this pool of friends.
And I think that can be helpful. If I've already got a pool of friends that I know I agree with, that we have similar taste, in this case, unlike the political bubble, I think in this case it actually might work to your advantage, because this isn't politics. This is fun. We're doing this.
This is entertainment.
We love,
exactly. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be entertainment. That's when like a film like Mother comes out. Like, what's the purpose of it? Is it to make you feel emotions? Is it to entertain? Because obviously, from everybody I've heard, it doesn't sound like anybody's entertained by it. So this is a different sort
and they're
of
confused by it
experience.
too. So it's like, apparently the way he executed was not the most clear for people.
Which and that comes down to the filmmaker and the art of the. And I mean, this is.
And
Mother sounds like an art piece.
And people's
Yeah, it might be.
expectations. I don't think the casual moviegoer is going to go into Mother expecting to see the type of movie that's being presented to
Our expectations have totally changed.
So to take it one step further,
Hit us.
what is the point of reviews anymore?
There might not be.
For me, I just, like I said,
Is it worth my time and money?
I just I enjoy reading other people's opinions of things to see if I agree with them or not. But it doesn't. If it's the intent of the review is to influence me in any way, shape, or form, it's not working.
So
Okay, I'll agree.
maybe it's just changed.
Yeah.
The way we consume reviews are different now.
Because and I'll add on to Dean's a little bit. It's about where I'm going to spend my time and money. If I had no intention to see it, but because people are raving about it, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll make an effort to go see it now. Or as I mentioned, American Vandal. It was on my list, but I hadn't put it at top priority. Red Miles review. All right, it's now a higher priority because of that. I don't know, because it can work so negatively. I don't think it's. Well, I got two things here. I think there isn't a point unless you are looking at like an art piece. Unless you're looking at film as an art, which I don't think a lot of people do these days. People use film and TV to escape.
Which is too bad, because even the most kind of base stuff, it's still art.
I don't disagree. And
Garbage Pail
but
Kids, there's an art to it.
pixels. There's an art to it.
I mean, if you look at it, I
But-
mean, even
and
if you
that's the
look at it
thing.
from the images and the things that you're seeing, the cinematography, there's definitely an art to everything.
And I think there is to that, and I think it'll help in the sense that for those who actually want to go see a movie and actually look at art, and I think CGI has kind of killed part of this because you can just throw anything in there with CGI now, and people want
But
to
there's
see
an art to the CGI.
There is, and I'm not negating CGI at all, but it took the creativity out of having to get a terror dog in Ghostbusters, or
it's
having
just a
to
different
do.
tool, though. It's still,
It is no, and I'm not negating that, but I think it changed what we go to the movies for.
Mm.
You know, think about Gremlins or a lot of the Terminator. You know,
Sure.
a lot of the '80s sci-fi. There was hell. Look at Muppets. You know, there was a craft to a lot of that, and we enjoyed that. We appreciated
And
it.
I agree with you. They should CGI
but
the Muppets.
I'm gonna punch you so hard right now. But because now because of CGI, which yes, I'm not negating it as an art form at all. There have been some beautiful stuff that I haven't even realized with CGI. And look, we got Shemp Tarkin, we got Princess Leia. You know, there are a lot of things that we can do with CGI, and we're still progressing. We're still not even there with CGI yet, but we're not looking at things at art form anymore. We're looking at them as adventure pieces. We're looking at them as we just want big explosions. We want the action.
It's
want
kind of like
these
what happened with
visual-
journalism. It went
Yeah.
from kind of like these, journalistic pieces.
Mhm.
These investigative reports. It's kind of become content now to be
Yeah.
consumed.
It is,
And I think that's what we're getting with
and
movies.
that's my second point because it can bite everybody in the butt and really mess up things that might not be that bad. Iron Fist,
Oh, sure.
everyone
Well,
got on
and-
this
and
hating
agendas.
Iron Fist. Yeah,
There-
and that's the thing.
There's
It's
a
like-
lot of people that will hide behind criticism and use it to push certain agendas, and not necessarily look at something with a fresh eye.
right.
But to kind of get back to a little more on topic, Alex had written that what he really enjoys these days are people who do video essays on YouTube.
Like the one I saw him brick and punching.
Exactly. And that's a good point, because one of the things I have started watching are some of the more fun, instead, not just necessarily criticisms, but like the breakdowns. So like Cinema Sins and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are fun, accessible, still film criticism pieces that I think are a little more mainstream, but still criticize films in a way that everybody can relate to. I mean, everybody can relate to just what doesn't work in a movie.
They can, and some of those can really kind of like they can really kind of pick out the fun, silly stuff. I mean, they can pick out legitimate things that why are there so many helicopters in Skull Island? But they can also
Because they needed them to be smashed.
exactly. But they can also go through and have fun things. Just small continuity errors that all right, yeah, it's an error, but we all kind of accept it, and it's fun because
That's
it's
what I
silly.
love about Cinema Sins, is when they really go into why did they this doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah,
Like the
because-
the new Ghostbusters one is fantastic.
The
was.
Alien Covenant one was pretty good too.
I need
have
to
to
watch
watch
that
that
you,
one.
you
Yeah.
sh- you should watch it. It's pretty
But
funny.
but I think there's, I don't know, those are fun because nothing's going to be perfect. I could pick apart Blues Brothers. We could pick apart Ghostbusters. We're not going to because they're perfect
They're
movies.
perfect movies.
But I mean, we
Those
could.
are bad
but we
I don't see
could.
how.
We could. Those are my two favorite movies of all time. But you can still
What's
pull them apart.
bad in Blues Brothers? There's not a single sin in Blues Brothers.
Your 1974 Dodge Monaco
Nope.
can flip over Nazi station wagons?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Well, then my
Established in-
knowledge of physics is wrong.
it's
I'm so-
established in the
I'm so-
universe.
I'm sorry, guys.
In that
never,
universe,
never let physics
Actually,
get in the way of a good
It
movie.
wasn't. The theatrical release did not actually explain it. It wasn't until the director's cut that we got in the mid 2000s when Elwood actually parked it in a substation for the L train that we actually got the mystical powers explained.
they explain the mystical powers.
Come at me, bro.
Why?
Yeah, they explain it. It's very subtle, and you're not going to notice unless you watch like John Landis's commentary. But when
Which oddly enough, I haven't watched.
So I could mock you about this, but that I probably have.
We
no
all-
def-
we
yeah,
all
I
have our
know
own things
everyone
about
has
this.
that movie.
Well, I don't feel like they needed to explain any of it.
Dan Aykroyd wanted the Bluesmobile to be like a Bond car, and Landis was like, "No, just leave it as a practical car, and let's just do the silly crap with it and just have fun with it." But there's a little scene in there where they park the Bluesmobile in an L train substation, like a power substation, and he has the keys to it somehow. He locks the car in there. He climbs out the window because you can't open the doors because it's so tight. And that wasn't in the theatrical cut. Grant, there was like the original screening was like 3.5 hours. They pared it down to like an hour.
I
and
know
a half,
this
but-
is going to be kind of surprising. I did not see that originally in the theater.
Really
It was 1980. The only thing I saw in the theater that year that I remember is Empire.
fair enough.
I don't think my dad was going to take me to Blues Brothers, but I saw it not long after.
I never saw Blues Brothers until after the year 2000.
Yeah, well, neither did I.
No,
saw-
whoa. This is an important distinction. Did you not see it until after the year 2000, or did you not see it until after Blues Brothers 2000?
No, after the year 2000. I still haven't seen Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
And
Music's good.
The music is the redeeming quality of
Just
that one
get the
because
soundtrack.
everyone's like everyone wanted to be in at that point, so they're like, all right, let's have a battle of the bands with Eric Clapton, Billy Preston, and any other musician that wanted to be in it and they did, and that was the good part. But other than that, it was
I don't understand
horrible.
how it can take something that I love so purely and make it trash.
Got 2 words for you:
John Goodman.
female good brother, female good brothers.
Did you ever see Female Good Brothers? Great film.
Yeah, it
Is
was-
that the
it was
sequel
awesome.
to Goodfellas?
Yeah. Female Ghostbusters
Female Good Brothers.
or Ghostbusters 2016, however you want to look at
I
it.
still haven't
So
seen that film.
Hey
either.
guys, Back to the Future, still pristine and perfect.
it really is.
I wouldn't change a thing
Yep.
about that movie.
So Alex has got another comment for us. He would contend that there is no such thing as pure, quote unquote pure entertainment. All pieces of entertainment carry some sort of socio-political weight. Even the most mainstream pop culture stuff is about something and both reflects and helps shape the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
I don't know if it does.
Unlike Garbage Pail Kids.
I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to break everything down, you could be like, oh, well, there's some sort of socio-political stuff, but I don't think everything is intended to have something.
I don't know if you listened
Socio-political.
to How Did This Get Made, but somebody was making the point that Garbage Pail Kids was actually pro-union
I am
or anti-union.
I am interested in seeing the commentary on the socio-political weight of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I would watch an hour and a half.
Or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Were they all supposed to be commies?
Or The Room.
The Room.
Oh, hi, Mark.
The Room is not making any political anything.
Well,
It's-
like
it's
he said,
just-
there's the idea of whether or not I don't think something has to.
We've got
you know,
several, Sarah.
Sarah's obviously not listening to the show. She's
The question is of intent. Does every film have an intended socio-political commentary? No. However, I do think that regardless of what the intent of the person who directed, written, or whatever,
Viewers
they
are
are still
bringing this.
influenced by the times in which they live in, and it impacts on what they write and what they direct and what they produce.
All right.
So you can make, I think, yes, you can probably make that argument.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Except for Garbage Pail Kids in The Room.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That dude
I
is
did
on-
not do it.
That
I
dude
did not.
is influenced by one thing, and that was being famous and possibly a
I
vampire.
can't wait for the disaster artist.
I refuse to watch The Room, but I'm actually intrigued.
Oh,
in
no,
watching
we're
The
Don't
gonna-
watch.
we're
The
gonna
Room
have-
is legitimately one of my favorite. I think it's
We're
a
gonna have
masterpiece. I'm not
like,
even being.
And this is the funny thing when
It's one of my favorite films.
there was a little thing called Radio Free Radio that got started about 2 years ago.
Really? Is that a thing?
It used to be.
Nope, that never
And-
happened.
And the guys that started that, they were. You might know them, Matt.
No,
No one's bitter in this room.
don't.
They no, it's all good. But like they would not shut up the room, and I was like, "What the hell? What are you guys talking about?" And then I finally have seen bits and pieces of it. And now this disaster artist thing, I'm like, "All right, let's do a pop movie night."
It's so
I'm
good.
actually at the point now, after watching the latest Disaster Artist trailer, I'm starting to feel bad for, was it Wiseman or whatever his name is?
Yeah, what?
I'm actually feeling bad
Oh,
for
why
because-
so?
Yeah,
Tommy Wiseau?
yeah, because the way that he's being portrayed by James Franco and the Disaster Artist,
The way
movie
he's being
trailer-
portrayed.
That's actually him and as an
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah, but I mean, like if nothing else, the guy was, according to the trailer anyway, is like incredibly earnest and really wants to have had a lot of passion for what he was doing.
Yeah.
and it's
Yes.
and it's just sad to see it being
Okay.
that bad.
But he has no
here's
talent.
here's
no,
a,
and it's true. But
and
it's
here's
still-
a question: would you rather be incredibly talented and never get recognized, or would you rather get recognized and have no talent?
Oh, recognized.
All right, Dean.
I would like to have the talent.
Okay, and both. There's no wrong answer on this
Yeah,
one.
no, being irrelevant.
I mean, there's no wrong answer.
I would
for
like
that.
to be adored.
and that's fine.
That's it. I just want to be adored.
You like the attention. Dean and I do not.
I need attention.
I mean,
you guys give me
with
attention.
music, I'd rather be rather be a phenomenal bass player and not get known for it than be known,
which you are.
Yeah, and to be known for someone who can just play like eighth notes nonstop.
All right, there have been bass players that have been known for it. So
And I mean that's the thing. And
Scott
they
Pilgrim.
got that's a great movie. That's
it
another movie
really
that- That's
is.
another movie that's
Let's go watch Scott Pilgrim, guys. Let's just stop the show. Let's go watch Scott Pilgrim.
The third Evil X was way better bass player than he was. I mean, he might have been
chicken's
a vegan.
chicken's not vegan.
Gelato's not vegan.
Milk and eggs.
All right. I just wanted to mention one thing because I pulled it up and I forgot to mention it.
Award shows.
What?
Award shows.
Yeah, we never got around. We did.
Well, let's
critics,
just consensus.
I think they can serve a purpose if they're actually giving something of substance. You know, if it's not the cats. Okay. If they're putting some substance into it and actually criticize and like actually breaking down and giving reason behind why they liked or didn't like something, I'm okay with it.
I don't like popularity contests.
I mean I don't mind.
You just said you wanted to be famous. Just you want attention.
It's
That's
because
a
he's-
popularity
That's
contest.
because he's not part of this
part
popularity
of that one.
contest. But no, I mean,
Nobody ever gives me
I
awards.
don't mind the idea of giving awards to things that somebody thinks has merit. Fine, fair enough. At the same, every award show that I've watched has been nothing but a pat on the back to whatever group of people they're giving the award to.
I just find them boring.
Yeah, I mean, award shows might entice me to go see like Hell or High Water. I was like, okay.
The only thing I like is the in memoriam. I just laugh and laugh.
Then be like, I'm gonna be there soon because I'm old.
The best thing, the funniest thing I ever saw in an award show was Chris Rock was hosting one year, and he went out to like a local movie theater and was asking everyone, "Have you heard of this movie?" And he listed off the name of every single movie that was nominated for Best Picture, and every person was like, "No." But then he named just like random movie, and like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that."
We
So-
were talking about critics and being in our bubble, you know, politically and entertainment wise. They're in their own little bubble out there.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I feel like it's almost like people who get into sports teams. They start calling them like we did this. I don't understand that.
My
didn't
wife
do
is
anything.
my
You
my
watched it.
wife is right there with you. She cannot stand it when people say our team was great this week. Or
Cool. What did you do? What did you? I didn't see you suit up.
Alex said he sees award shows as battle of ideals. Different shows, movies represent different sets of values, and it's interesting to see which political faction emerges victorious on the
You know what?
stage.
And I think
The
my
liberals.
I think my distaste.
Not wrong.
Damn it. I think my distaste for award movies shows, award shows is what I like and what I'm into is almost
Complete
never.
opposite. Yeah, it's
never
not our
recognized.
circle.
It's not like all the things that I really connect to and I'm really passionate about. It's never what's nominated. It's never like the Scott Pilgrims and like Ghost
Right.
World. It's never the stuff that I'm really into. You know what? The only award show that I really used to watch a lot was the Independent Spirit Awards back in the '90s on the IFC, because those were films that I would watch and I would connect to.
Yeah.
Because I was really into indies. These like the Oscars and the Emmys. It's never the show, and then that makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm not like everybody else. I don't enjoy the things that other people
Feel
enjoy.
kind of excluded.
Yeah. So why do I
Outcast.
even? Yes.
I'm just saying that's
What are you doing? I feel like you're just analyzing me now at this point. I don't know, and I think that I can't get enjoyment out. Like, what am I going to do? Watch the Emmys and
be like, oh,
it'll be a bunch of people that I don't like. I'd be like, okay, I hope Atlanta wins. I guess.
and they did.
And
Donald
they went-
Glover made history
You
with
know,
it.
I think I get more enjoyment out of just let me scan this and see who won.
Yeah.
And I see
And that's
who's
what I did. I
nominated.
didn't watch it. Yeah.
But when it comes,
Well, we're not going to
especially
watch
with
it for the
Oscars,
fashion either.
No.
I'm not into the fashion.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, and I don't think like musical numbers never do it for me. It's not like there's it's all very banal. It's all very bland. So I'm just not going to be into it.
Alex agrees
especially
with you.
movies.
I agree
When it
with you,
comes to
honestly, yeah.
movies, very rarely. I mean, what I don't even remember what won last year.
La La Land, no, Moonlight
La-
won.
Oh,
Yeah.
Moonlight. Okay, I mean I can understand, but that's not a movie I'm gonna connect with.
Right.
It's probably a movie I'll watch and I'll like, and I'll say, you know what, this was really well made.
Right.
But I'm not gonna connect to it the way I connect to like a Ghost World. I don't know.
No,
It's just me.
trust me, I'm right there with you.
I can't really get behind a movie like Titanic because it's like this big grossing thing that
Because
I can't even
your
get my-
parents died on the Titanic. Is that why?
look, they got me off.
Crazy.
on the boat. On the boat.
I never said anything about the boat.
All right. It might be time to wrap up.
tried to bring it
kids. yeah, you did.
It's fine. It's after 9.
Sorry, Sarah. I
It's after
tried.
10.
It's after 10 now.
We're okay. We're in
Well,
it's
speaking of it being
TVMA.
speaking of it being after 10, that might be time for us to wrap up. Thank you everybody for joining in tonight. Do we want to do pop champagne? What popping our champagne? I think is what Sarah says.
Yeah, you
when-
better pop your champagne right now.
I'm getting my 4th Michelangelo. I'm getting the 4th turtle for that.
That's a pretty good. That's a
and
pretty
I've got
good
a
thing.
Playbill Ghostbusters Firehouse to put together.
That's something. That's really something to be.
So that's
proud
me.
about.
That's what I got. I'm
Yeah,
I'm 33
like
years
that.
old.
No, you're living it. You're living the life.
Trying
living
to.
the dream.
Trying to.
Wish I could do this. I go
will.
home to an empty an empty life. Just an empty home.
Don't make me
I look
cry.
around. I'm like, it's just me tonight.
Can't hear you. Got headphones on. I did. Is that
We
public
weren't-
knowledge?
Yeah.
We haven't
We've
dropped
been
that.
hinting at
We
it, but we
didn't
couldn't say
drop
anything.
it.
Yeah, that wasn't our news. The shared person yelling at us from the other room who is not in this house.
Does,
Who is on
does
assignment?
someone live here with you, Keith?
Sarah's on assignment right now.
yeah, assignment of yelling at us.
Dean, what's popping your champagne?
Well, I'm still geeking out on how good it was, but this coming week is Kingsman. The sequel's coming out,
Excited.
so really excited for that to come out.
I was watching it as I was working out tonight. It was playing on the big cardio screen. I don't know if that's what they call it, but that's what I'm gonna call
I
it.
don't know if they'll be able to top the church scene from the first movie, but
So good. It's a great scene.
yes,
I should get that on Netflix.
you should. Is it not? Is it at the top of the list now?
Yes, it's at the top
Okay,
of the
good.
list. I'm gonna
Good.
go return. Everybody
if you
wants
don't-
some.
If you haven't seen it by Friday, I'm gonna come back over here.
Yeah,
and
They
no,
should
it's-
just give it to you.
Well, Miles even was looking out for me like 2 weeks ago. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's a 99-cent rental on Amazon."
Yeah.
I never had any time to watch it that weekend.
Or free on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
You watch it tonight.
Been there
I'll watch
for
part of it.
months.
I'll-
For months.
All right. All right.
Everybody wants some except for Keith.
All right. Bye. No, wait. What are you saying? It's on Hulu? Kingsman?
Everybody wants some.
No, that's on Amazon, and I'm ready to watch that.
Oh, but it's also on
but
Hulu.
I'm gonna watch it on. I'm gonna watch it on Amazon.
Okay.
I'm gonna send the disc back tonight.
Kingsman, you'll
so
never
I
be able to see.
so I can watch Kingsman this week and be ready.
Just go buy
I'm gonna
it.
watch it.
Just go buy it.
I'm gonna watch it. I don't
Good
have enough
luck.
room. My
luck.
closet's full. Matt's what's popped in your champagne?
I'm a month away from Halloween horror nights.
Okay.
I'm very excited. I need this week. A little Disney, a little half Disney, a little half Universal.
Quick, 10-second snippet. What is the Horror Nights?
Horror Nights is an event that happens in Universal Studios Orlando and Hollywood every week. All of the weeks leading up to Halloween. It started last Friday, and I'm very excited. A bunch of houses, and it's like a Halloween
themed houses.
but like way
All right.
way more over the top. Chainsaw clowns. A lot of chainsaw clowns.
You gotta tell me
this
how that
year.
Ash versus Evil Dead
I'm
house
gonna tell you
is.
how it looks
All
like.
right.
It looks like it's cool.
All right. Well, do you
Think that's
guys, Dean, you don't do the social media very much. Matt, where can they find you when you're not here on
You
Pop
can
Tuesday nights?
find me and Have Issues.
What's issues?
I pretty much only tweet on Mondays and Thursdays now. Whatever Keith tells me to tweet.
Because you have a segment called Matt Tweets Anything.
I have a segment called.
It's the
Matt
worst
Tweets
idea ever
Everything.
because guess who's on the computer ready with the keyboard?
You can also find me on Facebook, Matt Wade Videos. Though I seem to only be, I've only got the
get
shows
there.
up and running Mondays and Thursdays, 9 p.m.
You can occasionally find something I've written on the Pop website.
That's
Okay.
true. Thank
And
you for
it's
that
not
correction.
like Bad Critics.
No, I mean, we're just, and that's the thing. I mean,
I feel
We-
bad.
we
I
are
came
not-
out like we don't need critics. And Dean's
We're-
sitting right next to me.
I don't really consider myself a critic.
No,
I
we're just-
wouldn't.
and
I
that's
wouldn't
the
give
thing.
myself that
That's-
label.
Just giving some
this is
opinions.
why we do
Yeah.
this show because we're not going to be national bigwigs. We enjoy this stuff.
We're
We
also
know
not
these
gonna-
people do too. Alex, Sarah when she's not on the show, Miles, Scott, Chris, Vanessa when she watches, Charles when he tunes in. That's this is our way of hanging out with our friends and talking about pop culture.
We're also going to do it with a little bit of positivity.
That is definitely the key. We want to be positive and have fun with it.
And every once in a while, a dirty word.
It happens, you know.
Occasionally.
We're not immune from it. We are, people.
Did I tell you about the Titanic?
Yes, you did. It's good. So that is our music cueing us out of here. So check us out on, well, hopefully you're already checking us out on Facebook. But if you're not checking us out on Facebook, you might be watching the YouTube, might be eventually watching the Twitch. We might be having a podcast coming out soon. This will be in podcast form at some point.
So many ways to consume Popped.
Facebook.com/Pop Show, Twitter.com/Pop Show, YouTube /long line of characters that I don't have memorized yet because
Please go like that. Go to Pop Show on Facebook and you'll be able to find all the links.
You can't miss it.
To the Twitter and to the YouTube.
For sure.
So many ways to watch.
Check us out there. And then, as usual, come back next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Matt and I will be here. Sarah will be back joining us. Dean will be filling in on popshow.com, which you should also check out for all of our reviews for cartoons, TV shows, trailers, video games, whatever you feel like talking about, honestly.
Whatever you feel like talking about.
So, all right. That wraps it up for us, guys. I will see you all next week. Later, guys.
Later.